Welcome back to the Modus Super Series. We've just seen Richie Burnett get off to a winning start, which very much puts him back in the melting pot of plenty of players trying to catch Richie Howson in second position. And as we come into this game, it's another game where two very close friends will lock horns. You might not recognise Keegan. He's not wearing pink. He's wearing blue and white. But he's not playing on the same team as Scott Campbell. He's on his own team today. He wants to win this group to get through to Double Trouble 5 finals night. Richie Howson is 60 now. Played all of his best darts over the last 5 or so years, in his senior years. But these two are teammates for Essex in inter-county darts in the UK. But they're not teammates over the next 15 minutes. Because only one can get 2 points. And one will get nothing. If Brown wins again, he'll be feeling like he's only one win away from making Saturday. And he could do it with 3 games to spare.
Yeah, and when you're in that situation where you have picked up those 5 wins, you've gone through the card the day before, you want that win early. And might be a slip, but it's still straight 34. Off for Keegan Brown. Yeah, you don't want to get to kind of game 3 without picking up that extra win because you're watching the rest of the pack come back at you.
Apparently they don't want to hit double 16. They just want to hit everything either side. Well, Keegan had a very good day yesterday. He was very consistent. He had that explosive 170 check out. But he did everything right. He was meandering through the day, and he came up here onto the balcony yesterday saying at points he was very lucky.
140.
Typically humble, downplaying his excellent day of darts.
$99.
For me, obviously, Keegan's played in regulation weeks. We've seen him hit quite a bit. And you can almost tell with Keegan when everything's kind of just clicking, when it's all going right. There's a real fluidity to the throat. We know
100.
He is a player. Sometimes he will drop his dart, but ultimately it's... I'm not saying it's the focus, but you can just see with the release and everything, it just seems to be all clicking at the right time for Keegan.
Yeah, he has spoken candidly and very openly
97.
about something that he struggles with in Sjogren's syndrome. He doesn't necessarily know how he's going to feel until that morning. So get him on a good day, he's still a world-class dart player, but
47.
Some days where he's not as comfortable, he has to work just a little bit harder to get stuff out of his game. It's usually something to do with the grip of the dart in the fingers. That's
59.
something he's had to almost recreate at this portion of his career because he's not even that old. He's only 33. Some people might say he should be in his peak right now, but
97.
Everyone's got their struggles.
Keegan O'Carr, 154.
Well, it's Keegan first down to a finish, but it is a long-range finish yet. We know that he can produce the goods when he needs to, but can't get the combination started here.
95.
Long time ago, I stopped predicting where Keegan was going to go on finishes because he is rather abstract in that department. Howson needs 42 tops and is not getting what he wanted.
40. Keegan O'Carr, 59.
Double top.
39.
Not on this occasion, so Howson
54.
does indeed have a chance to break the throw of Brown.
Just under. It's double turn here for Howson as well.
34.
Same outcome as Keegan.
Keegan O'Carr, 20.
Yeah, that'll work.
Keegan Brown.
Very reminiscent of what Fallon Sherrick was doing last night. Her double 10 hitting.
Game on.
Actually, over the last week has been very impressive.
Well, double 8 seems to be doing the trick
35.
so far for Richie Howson.
I just wonder if he's going for the wire in between the two. Some people do that. They don't care about the double that they get off with. They just want to get off.
108.
What was your double of choice?
16s.
Yeah.
Every day of the week and twice on Sundays. And then I would also switch to the 19s on the scoring. I found that way more comfortable than either
125.
transitioning from 32 to the 60 or using tops. My first year at the World Grand Prix, I went to tops because I thought that's what everybody did. And I realized
45.
that I needed to play the way that I was more comfortable. So I utilized double 16 a bit more. If you were playing double start this way and you had a choice, what would you choose?
59.
Double 16. Double 16 or double 18. I don't like to leave it in a match because of the way it breaks down. Because as soon as I leave double 9, it's bound to go into a single 9. And then, you know, I'm chasing a single number. And it'll be the only time that I
100.
can't hit a 1.
This is a difficult fixture for Keegan. It's always tough playing
45.
someone you genuinely care about. But this is sport. Sometimes you got to play against very close friends, even family.
38.
I mean, we could solve the teammate thing if Keegan, you know, wanted to pop over and play for Hampshire. He has to drive through it to get to Essex.
Good luck with that scouting parade that you've got going there, Laura.
60.
It is a bit of a trek from the Isle of Wight, south of Portsmouth, to go to Essex and beyond to play county darts. So obviously playing alongside Richie in that format is very beneficial for him.
Just waiting to get
100.
some messages from fellow Essex the Essex players.
You're going to get done for poaching. I don't think Richie would take too kindly to that
137.
because
Keegan
I think he
110.
recruited Keegan. But Howson might be 2-0 down here. He is looking at double 18.
92. Richie Carr 40.
Housen in a real good position to punish. Missed this in leg 1. Again, finds himself down at double 10. He's chasing that double around the board.
30.
And to no
Keegan
avail.
Carr 18.
He can't hide his emotions either. This is double 6. Whether that was on purpose or not, it really doesn't matter because it's 2-0. Used to be a good old school play, that 6-6, but
So
people
like
have
Keegan to throw
graduated
first. Game
towards what we call the Jeff Smith shot here. I think he could be the only person in history at this place to win a week with the same shot that won him the series, which was 10-4.
No score.
Perfect start for Richie Housen. And he does, again, just move over to the
98.
19s. As you say, the adjustment is just not so big.
If you put a spirit level between the middle of double 16 and treble 19,
108.
it's pretty level. It's a nice transition. That's why a lot more people are doing it these days. Not everybody, because Darryl Gurney, he was someone who utilised double 16 quite a lot
45.
in double start darts. He would go back to the 60, as would Mervyn King when he was making the final of the World Grand Prix in 2012.
$99.
This is good steady stuff from Brown. It's not really about averages double start darts. It's about winning moments multiple times in legs. It's not about two phases anymore. It's not
125.
scoring and hitting a double. It's actually got 3 phases, maybe 4 if you count approach work.
81.
And I think it's probably it's quite a freeing feeling when you're going up there and you're not looking at your averages. You're not worried about it because it's become such a talking point and such an element. And
39.
probably people like us are slightly to blame for that as well.
Oh, we are.
But yeah, it must be quite nice to think, yeah, it doesn't really matter what average I get here. It is just about getting the win and trying to put in the best performance possible.
Yeah, ask Richie Burnett.
129.
Under 68 in that first game, but it was still a 3-1 win. This could be a 3-0 win. This could be a really important defeat of Housen for
44.
everybody else.
Keegan Carr 84.
This could be wonderful for Keegan. 6 from 6 potentially. He needs the ball.
59.
Only gets half of it.
Richie Carr 150.
Well, the result yesterday was 3-1 in favour of Keegan Brown. Housen looking to get his first leg on the board, but can't find that second
98.
treble.
Keegan Carr 25.
Let's see if Keegan can finish it off here on double four. He
Game shown
most
on the match,
definitely
Keegan
can.
Brown.
So it is 6 wins from 6 games in double trouble 5. And he inches even closer to a Saturday night berth with the other man in pink, Scott Mitchell. 3 legs to 0, and that one was all about the finishing. The Modus Super Series has gone full double trouble here this week. And I would have to say that Richie Housen is in a bit of trouble now, because starting in second position on day 2 of Group C, he has been taken out 3-0 by his closest friend in Keegan Brown. Speaking of close friends, these two go way back. Actually used to sit on the same table at PDC Pro Tour events. Steve is a resident of Waterlooville, which is not far from this studio, about 15 minutes away. Robert Thornton, however, is about a 7 to 8 hour drive away minimum. But he likes driving, and that's why he spends a lot of time here. And the fact that he's quite good at darts as well. But he's 59 now, same age as Richie Burnett. He wouldn't mind the same result as Richie in the first round of play here on Friday, because if he does get that, he will get himself onto 6
First leg,
points.
Steve to throw first. Game on.
And very much in a good position going into round 2. Yeah, I think Tops is going to get a bit of a hammering in this game, whether it's at the start or the end, because both
77.
players are Tops merchants.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And both players straight in. First art of asking.
80.
It might not be a question of if they get a 160 start in this game. It might be when.
97.
I think these two as a pair would be perfect for each other, because they wouldn't have to figure out different game plans for what
100.
to leave or what to go for, because they play the game exactly the same way.
Yeah, I wonder if they have paired up at any point over the years.
80.
Many, many years ago. Obviously, they dabbling in the kind of whole BDO circuit. There was a lot of pairs on that section.
That's a really interesting question.
41.
I'd be interested to see if they've ever done that. We'll get to the bottom of that by the end of the day.
Yeah, I'll do a bit of research.
Now, Steve is adorned in his
82.
St. George Cross today with a little bit of black and white. Robert in his traditional Scottish tartan with a little bit of lovely blue.
140.
His only title has come in this format in the past, which is quite remarkable considering
95.
he's been here
Robert
since the
Carr,
start.
140.
Yeah, he's never picked up a regulation week win. But Steve West, well, he's also won a
100.
double trouble week.
Steve Carr, 70.
Maybe only one will survive out of these two. That is not a bad miss. Tops is open.
50. Robert Carr, 40.
Ah, double 10. Yeah, I was going to
Change for the
question
first
whether we
leg,
could actually
Robert
go through an
Thornton.
entire match of double starts,
Second
all
leg,
finishing
Robert
on
to throw
tops, but
first.
Robert Thornton's put paid to that already.
Game on.
He'll be happy enough with the double 10.
That leads into another question.
No score.
In a finishing sense, you give these guys 100 darts at tops. How many would they expect to hit?
I think these
120.
guys they'd want to be hitting at least half, don't you think?
Yeah. They spend so much
60.
time on it that I think they would want to hit it 60 times. In their eyes, tops actually looks
60.
bigger than all of the other doubles because they favour it. Because of the angle of attack, they're both very upright, as you can see. And they've both been exceptionally big scorers in their careers.
55.
So if they get it right, the numbers can be astronomical. Indeed, never question Steve West when he's playing against someone
100.
that's very close to him. He once played on the European Tour against his own brother and won 6-0, averaging 110.
100.
I mean, that's classic sibling rivalry, right?
Yeah. Who's the best in the West? It was Steve. Every time I mention that,
140.
his brother gets in touch as if to say, why did you have to bring that up again? How about we bring up the fact that West could indeed be
140.
equalising
See
here
that
in a
81.
5-visit leg.
That's a big slip. Misses the single number.
32.
And
Robert
wasn't
Carr,
really even
146.
contemplating the treble at that point, I don't think.
He's missed a couple of singles there, which is not in his playbook. I try to look at it on the bright side.
94. Sivakar, 49.
At least he's hit a small single to leave the possibility of tops.
29.
Well, that will
Robert
really
Carr,
annoy him
52.
because he's opened the door for Thornton to get to 2-0.
Yeah, you can see the frustration shaking his head in the background. It's tops once again for Thornton.
Getting shot his second
And
leg.
true to
Robert
form,
Thornton.
tops is found and Thornton races into a 2-0 lead.
Second leg, Steve to through first.
Fridays can be very different to Thursdays. Steve did win against Thornton yesterday by 3
Yeah.
legs to 0, but Robert wasn't fully at the races in round 5 yesterday. Now, he hasn't had a problem using it to start,
100.
but finishing, he hasn't hit it yet. What does that tell us psychologically?
No
I don't
score.
know, but I imagine it'll be a real point of frustration because to start off, you feel that air of relief, don't you? Right, that's it. Now I can score. Now I can focus on the bit of the game that I know really, really well. But
40.
ultimately, yeah, it's all about that end double as well with this.
Robert is one of those players who's had a
79.
double start 9-darter in that famous game with James Wade, who also had a 9 starting on tops.
100.
We haven't had one of those in a while, have we?
What, the Grand Prix?
Yeah.
Not for a while. I mean,
3 in total. Brendan Dolan,
One of them.
Robert
40.
and James. Robert hasn't even played at the World Grand Prix since 2017.
77.
winner of the title 2 years prior to that.
He probably wouldn't say so, but I think that might be his proudest moment
46.
because he was up against a juggernaut. Someone who was at the peak of his powers.
One of them.
But
40.
I don't even think that's the best double start game that Robert's ever played. We'll save that for a little bit
100.
later because
Supercar
this game,
44.
it could be over in the next 20 seconds if West does not find tops this time.
That would have felt good. He thought that was in. And
24. Robert
double
Carr,
still eludes
136.
Steve West.
He's going to get another crack at it, but his confidence is a little bit
96.
fractured.
Supercar 20.
High on 10s, that should be the play.
Getting shot on
Very,
the third
very
leg,
nice.
Steve West.
And a bit of a sarcastic
Ball played Robert to
celebration from
first.
Steve.
Game on.
There's a smile, but a shake of the head all at the same time. But it's relief, isn't it, as well? Just, okay, now I can settle into this. As we've said before,
41.
a race to 3 can be over in moments, but actually you're also never completely out of it.
$60.
That's a very decent start. Important leg, of course. If you lose it, you can lose 3-1. Win it, you could potentially have something called momentum.
100.
It's a banned word, come on. Yeah, I think we use momentum when we use that word,
140.
especially in sport. It's kind of a stand-in for maybe confidence, and then the confidence you get by winning, it just kind of allows you to feel maybe a little bit
76.
untouchable.
Yeah, confidence and momentum in darts is intangible. You can't see it. You can't touch it.
And sadly, you cannot bottle it.
100.
If you could, I would have bought a stack of it years ago.
$100.
It's been a steady scoring performance from these guys in this match, but we haven't had a maximum. It's been a decent amount of 2 treble visits.
96.
And West desperately wanted to get a second treble there. Now, what's he going to do with 105? He loves tops. He struggled finishing on it,
44.
but he might even
Supercar
try and leave it
105.
twice. Well, that one's got me
65.
bamboozled.
Robert Carr, 140.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe again, like you say, it just lends itself to that element of confidence. But West has battled his way back. He's got the opportunity to level things up at 2-all. Yet to see a game go
65.
the distance
Supercar
so far
40.
today.
He can't miss this.
20. Robert Carr,
can.
75.
It's Laura Turner's best impression of Mick McCarthy there. Double 12. And that is a
Game
win
shot
for
on the mark,
Thornton.
Robert Thornton.
So it turns out that West could not afford to miss those doubles. There were plenty of attempts as well. Not fact. And only one hit. The starting was fine, but the finishing, that belonged to Thornton, as do the 2 points. Thanks for your company once again. Live on Pluto TV, we have Double Trouble 5, and we are into afternoon number 2 in Group C, and things are slightly bunched up. Keegan Brown sits at the top of the tree on 12 points. Everybody else is either on 4 or 6 points, so this is getting very interesting. With Thornton beating West just now, he jumps West in the table. Campbell now plays Housen, and this is where things get interesting, because if Housen were to win, he would create a 4-point cushion between himself and his opponent in this game. So if you want to keep pace with spot number 2 in the table, these are the games you have to win.
I'm starting to question whether Richie Housen is actually going for double 8, because I think that's the third time. I'm sure he's not. but maybe an indicator that he's not quite got the level right as of yet.
I'm with you on that one.
38.
I think that's the third different double that Campbell has used to start, but that is a traditional plan B switch there. If you can't get 16s, 19s is a good transition.
45.
But when he started playing some better stuff against Richie Burnett, he started on tops. So he has a more fluid game plan on the start than, say, a West or a Thornton.
And I think that's fine
100.
as long as it is a game plan and it's not a point of panic because your actual game plan's not working out. And then you're like, oh, I need to get something somewhere, because that's when you can...
137.
You're perhaps not just fully committed, fully focused on the double you're going for.
Yeah, some starting plans can look very abstract. Danny Noppert, for example, tops, then he goes to 12s, and then he goes to 14s. But there is method in that madness. You
100.
always have to have a plan B in double start. I don't care who you are. You could be the greatest double start player in the history of the game, but you still got to have that plan B. Campbell is assaulting this 183.
131. Richard Carr, 164.
Yeah, almost perfect setup play. But big match for both these players in terms of how they
47.
may or may not progress through
52.
to tomorrow's finals.
This makes sense. He's looking for Richie Housen's favourite.
44. Richard Carr,
This is a free hit.
117.
This is a leg that Housen really did expect to lose, considering his previous position. But he can steal it.
97. Scott
I don't know
Carr,
if you
8.
caught that, Laura, but when he was going for that tops, his eyes flicked to double 16 first. Looked like he got distracted.
Will he be punished?
Engaged on the first leg,
He is
Scott
indeed.
Campbell.
Yeah, it was the finishing, I think, for me as well.
Second
Richie
leg, Scott
Housen's
to through
first game is
first.
3-0
Game on.
defeat at the hands of Keegan Brown. He was 0 from 5. It's quite uncharacteristic of Richie.
The longer he goes without a closing double, the more things will
146.
get worse. And that compounds Housen's misery. That's a perfect start.
51.
Does that give you a bit more comfort knowing that he's going for double 16?
I don't mind what he's going for. It's just it's probably a bit more comfort to Richie that he's hit the double that he's aiming at.
You make a
99.
good point, actually, because getting off in a double start leg is one thing, but you always want to hit the double that you're going for. You don't want to edge a double 1 or a double 8 or a double 7. It doesn't give you a great deal of confidence hitting something that
85.
you didn't go for.
You don't mind it once or twice, do you? But if it becomes, a bit of a pattern, it's not ideal. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because ultimately, like you said
60.
before, players don't really care what they hit as long as they can start the scoring stage of the match.
Yeah, getting off is phase 1. Then you've got to score, then you've got to approach, and then you've got to finish.
96.
Having a plan for straight start darts is one thing. But in this format, you're not entirely sure where you're going to stand after 6. Well, we know where Campbell's going to be after 12.
Yeah, so far Scott Campbell, the only player in the field to have hit a maximum, hit 1 in his first match where he
43.
lost
Got the car,
3-1 to
16.
Burnett, but he's bounced back admirably in his second match.
Engaged on the second leg,
And
Scott
it's a
Campbell.
13 dart holder throw for
Third
Scott
leg, Richie
Campbell.
to throw first. Game
This
on.
is some performance. I'm not going to spook this by saying what his numbers are
No
right
score.
now, but if he can replicate what he's already done, this is going to be something very special.
No score.
And just like that, the numbers start to tumble.
I'm blaming you. And that is why the averages, they're just
108.
so almost irrelevant unless there is a standout, a huge average. The rest of it becomes irrelevant because how often in a straight start match would you have a player kicking
108.
off scoring 0?
Very rarely. You know that Gary Anderson has scored 0 on a visit to the World
190.
Championship,
I remember.
but that wasn't his fault. Yeah, probably the greatest player never to win the World Grand Prix.
Although you still wouldn't mind a CV, let's be honest. I mean,
Oh, yeah. I'd happily swap with him.
$52.
Oh, this is really jeopardy filled for the Owl. Especially if Campbell starts to get in his vicinity again. And here he comes. It should be a max.
140.
that's a set up for 140, but in the context of the match, you've got Richie at the in the background just shaking his head. Not happy with how things have gone so far on this Friday morning.
100.
If Campbell can get to 96 or better here, he might indeed get match darts. 58 scored. He's 138, and he's got a marker on the 57, and I am surprised
76.
that
Richard
he
Carr,
didn't want to use it.
122.
Maybe because he was too sheepish on what would be left if he got the single. Well, Richie's not even going to get a shot at the ball.
Yeah, frustration for Richie Housen,
70.
trying to make sure of the single
Got the
number.
Carr, 120.
Hasn't given himself a shot at the ball.
Well, this has been left because he went 18s on his approach, and he does get a match dart.
80. Richard Carr, 52.
One dart away from a 90-plus average in double start.
A double 16. Richie Housen's only had one dart at a double at the tail end of legs in this
Gage
match,
on the
but he
third
does
leg.
get
Richie
his
Housen.
first leg of the day on the board.
Fourth leg Scott to through first. Game on.
Yeah, no celebration from Richie Housen, still shaking his head. It's more contemplation as he walks back.
Here's his biggest problem now. Campbell has already started,
52.
and it could have been a lot worse than that.
Yeah, didn't make the most of it, but Housen straight in.
Well, just try and keep a count today of how many times Housen
111.
does hit double 16 in the bottom half. Because it seems to me like he's going for the top half the entire time. Worked to perfection right there.
123.
I think we've got the right referee this week as well. As far as double start experience is concerned,
85.
look no further than that man right there.
Yeah, it's you've got to give credit to the referees, especially in this format, because of the concentration that you need to make sure that you're only counting
96.
numbers that actually count and score in their first visits.
$81.
Oh, that is a vital treble. The destiny of this game in 4 legs is not up to him. It's up to the Scot.
Yeah, you're just thinking, keep it straight.
60.
As a very bare minimum, because he's left the big fish. We've seen it already hit this week from Keegan Brown.
Well, knowing the skill set of Campbell, he can cook one.
100. Scott Carr, 170.
But can he hit one? That one's slightly undercooked. Now this will be something else from the Owl.
Richard Carr, 124.
He really has to strike here. Otherwise he's under so much table pressure.
And he has to find treble 18, and he can't. And you just feel like he needs a big
92.
moment,
Scott
Richie
Carr,
Housen.
36.
And that could have been it.
After a 3-1 loss in his first game, this could be a role reversal for Campbell. And that's
Shot in the
exactly
match,
what
Scott
he's
Campbell.
done. So he is going to 6 points alongside Richie Housen now. There's going to be a lot of toing and froing today, but with that 90-plus average, a very good performance from Campbell, he's found himself moving in the right direction. Welcome back to the action here at Double Trouble 5. And with that little mini move at the start of round number 2, Scott Campbell is on 6 points. Finds himself locked on points with Robert Thornton. He's playing in this game right now against Richie Burnett, so old foes will collide once again. And when they played yesterday, it was 5 legs. It was dubious at times, but it was Burnett with an average of 11 points fewer that prevailed.
First
so
leg,
numbers
Richie
aren't
to throw
everything,
first.
but the number 3 is what you want.
Game on.
Get the legs, get the points, and move on to round 3.
Well, maybe that's the magic recipe for Richie Burnett, because he was below when it came to the average in his 3-1 win over Scott Campbell earlier, averaging just shy of 68. Campbell in excess of 75. So, as you say, it's just about timing. It's about just getting to 3 legs first.
60.
Do you get the feeling that if Thornton goes on a starting streak, that his form will click?
How how can you not think that? I think especially with a
No
player
score.
like Robert Thornton, who obviously does excel at this format, obviously back in 2015, picking up the World Grand Prix, but his only win in this building, under this roof, is this format. So
60.
ultimately, yes.
So the evidence is right there. Robert is a double start specialist. You could say he's Scotland's
score.
best ever double starter. Because Gary Anderson never won the World Grand Prix, and neither did Peter Wright.
No,
60.
and in such a competitive arena, you know, that's an accolade that, yeah, is true to Robert Thornton.
Oh, this is better. After missing
120.
his first 9 darts, he's off and running, and he's only 60 behind.
Yeah, Thornton hasn't really made the most of the start that just the head start that
60.
he had.
And that will annoy him. Because already, before the halfway point of the leg, Thornton will be believing that I should win this leg. And it's gone
59.
from that thought process to, I'm a little bit embroiled now.
The one thing you will definitely get from these two players is if they have a visit they're not happy with, they're going to let you know about it.
140.
Unquestionably. Heart on sleeve players. And that's why we love them.
100. Robert Carr, 21.
Now, this is the shot that won him the UK Open.
81.
But not that way. He won it on the bullseye. But that made a lot of sense. If you go for the 11, you go for the bull, it doesn't make sense with someone on 222. If you go 25 for double 18, you might hit the bull and find
40.
yourself cornered. This way, you've got the double you prefer, or at least you had it.
Yeah, quick check over to the scoreboard because it was a slip from Richie Burnett and it was a
Gage on the
sensible
first
switch
flag,
there for
Robert
Robert
Thornton.
Thornton in the end.
Second leg, Robert to throw first.
Utilising the entirety of the board.
That's what you got to do in this game.
Game on.
Even tops merchants like Thornton find themselves on double 14 every now and again, and it's back-to-back double ones.
122.
Oh, but the adjustment with the second two, absolutely perfect for Thornton.
You know what would have been funny? If he turned around and said, I went for that. Nobody is ever going for double one at the start of a double start leg.
74.
The risk-reward ratio is completely off. Such a glorious visit. Great rhythm, great body position. Everything was perfect.
And this is the threat
80.
that Robert Thornton possesses. And yeah, Richie clearly very unhappy. Dart on the floor.
I thought he was going to do a primal scream there.
$55.
That's okay. The lead is 203. This format can eat you up and spit you out.
27. Robert Carr,
You get that 3-1 victory in round one. You come into round two and this happens. And all of a sudden you're in all sorts of trouble.
58.
Yeah, sometimes it's just that extra stage. It's double start. I mean, that is clearly. I know it's a shortened format for the Super Series, but ultimately that is the key difference.
85. Robert Carr, 86.
Well, that is Richie Burnett's backhand.
But it does go to what you were
23.
saying before, is you cannot, as a player, be watching what Richie's doing sometimes up in front of you because, well, I mean, you're never sure.
I've seen him in so many positions. I'm just waiting for the new yoga DVD.
100. Robert Carr,
But
63.
if you try to do what he does, you're going to get a bad back. Tops.
Gage on the second
Right
leg,
on
Robert
cue and a
Thornton.
2-0 lead for Thornton.
Third leg, Richie to throw first.
He's had a pretty
Game
good
on.
time of it against Richie Burnett this week. But this would be an invaluable victory right here.
120.
Now they're both starting to hit tops. We have a beautiful leg on our hands.
And of course, we mentioned Paul Hinks, obviously refereed on 12 different occasions at the World Grand Prix. He was the referee
60.
in control of the match when Robert Thornton did hit that 9-darter against James Wade.
Come on, Rob. Make it happen. We're getting excited. Oh, Robert, you heartbreaker.
140.
He was thinking about it himself. Why wouldn't you?
It's a great lead, though, in a world-class leg of double-start darts. He's not going to get the
60.
perfect leg, but he might get the perfect result. You can tell it's still there. Even at the age of
83.
59, it's so close.
And the one thing you can never say isn't there is just the fact that you can see with both these players just how much they love the
140,
game, how much they're just
118.
trying for perfection all the time.
This could be perfect.
Game
It
show
most
of the match,
definitely is. And
Thornton.
Robert Thornton gets an invaluable 6-leg swing over Richie Burnett. So Richie's charge to 6 points is stopped by his old pal Thornton. And Robert is now in second position in the table after that wonderful performance. 3 out of 4 on the doubles and 3 legs and 51 darts. Welcome back to Portsmouth, where we have double trouble darts for you. And an all-English clash in game number 6. At the end of round 2 today, this is where Keegan Brown could qualify. He hasn't lost in this group. And if he doesn't lose this game, Saturday night is a guarantee. And if he gets through, that will mean that 2 players are guaranteed their place in Saturday night, and both are synonymous with the colour pink.
First leg, Keegan to throw first. Game on.
What we have had in our 4 double trouble weeks since we started them are 4 different champions. We have all 4 champions here this week, but there's a risk that a lot of those former champions might not even make Saturday on this occasion.
I think the one most at risk is in Group
40.
B, which is obviously all starting off at 10 p.m. tonight, and that's Andreas Harrison.
Now, Keegan is not off in his first 2 visits here, so West, who doesn't have the darts in the odd-numbered legs here, has got to break at some point. But we're going to give him a little bit of good news here on top of the start of leg 1. 4 of the first 5 games today have been won by people who don't have the darts in the first leg. That is today's trend.
37.
The only player to go against that was indeed Keegan Brown.
Yeah, he's the trend booker, if you want to call it that.
95.
It's nice being a trendsetter, but sometimes you've got to go against the tide. He is off and running now. He's only a treble behind, and a little bit more. You don't need to be a darting genius to understand why West struggled in his first game of the day against Thornton. It wasn't necessarily about the starting, it was about the finishing.
Yeah, 1 from 9 on the outer ring, just the one leg picked
99.
up from Steve West in his opener.
67. $81.
He's not too annoyed about that single one when you do find the treble 20 with your next dart. And he doesn't have any bad news coming his way here because he doesn't have to go for the bullseye at all on this shot. Yes, good play. Double 10.
76.
It was good play, but by splitting the 10s, he finds himself in a neighbourhood that does have a bit of peril.
Yeah, and there might be a bit of pressure applied as well.
105. Civicar 10. No score.
Well, tops is still on point for West, but that is not the intended target.
The irony is not lost there. He really struggled to finish on tops in his first game, and this time he hits tops when he doesn't need it. Now, how far left is he going to be on double 5 here?
You're always going for that 1 over, 1 in. And there's the 1 over. Trying to work his way down.
5.
Just
48.
Just a bit undercooked with the last dart, and that's the problem with double 5.
Well, there's a leg you don't expect to win. And maybe that's what Keegan Brown was talking about at the end of yesterday.
Game on.
They're the legs that you don't expect to win, but if you get them, that's what's called a little bit of darting fortune. But you've got to put yourself in that position if your opponent does not get rid of the leg.
No score.
Yeah, I think especially players that are just kind of new to the game or coming through, I think it's a really good lesson for anyone to learn is the leg is not over until it's over. You persevere, keep within it as much as you possibly can.
36.
Perhaps, unless you're playing Luke Littler or Bo Greaves.
There are some more examples.
Yeah, there are.
38.
Well, Steve West is going hunting right now. He's gone for a bull start, and he ended up starting on double 19. So double top is not on the Christmas card list
60.
right now. Now, this is what
82.
interests me about Steve's game, because if tops is not working and the scoring element is not there, they are his 2 biggest weapons.
98.
If one of them's slightly off, he can still blow people away. But if they're both slightly off, what else does he do?
140.
And just like that, the scoring element does return.
Yeah, it's about perseverance, because ultimately the starting element has not been bad at all for Steve West. He has been finding
95.
that tops with a lot of regularity, and the scoring phases haven't been bad. It's the finishing. It's the end of the legs where we've seen the struggles just in these opening couple of matches for Steve.
85.
Steve is now 51 years of age. But just look at Derek Coulson. Steve could
60.
legitimately
Steve
have the best part of his
156.
career to come. That was a very, very good second dart.
100.
It just didn't catch
Keegan
enough
Car 152.
of that cylindrical barrel. Classic Keegan Brown. He was the first person I ever saw do that on 152. He did it on the
58.
Euro
Steve
Tour
Car
against Michael
56.
van Gerwen.
Tops again for Steve West.
16. Keegan
Again,
Car 94.
just the back end of these legs where the doubles, he's not finding them.
Don't look, Steve. Do not look.
Game shot
We
on the
warned
second
you.
leg, Keegan Brown. Felt like
How do you
Keegan
think
to throw
Steve is
first.
feeling at the back
Game
of the
on.
stage? Because everything that Brown touches turns to gold at the end of legs. Yesterday, West was on the end of the 170 finish.
I mean, this is going to be a real point of frustration, because ultimately Steve West,
36.
you could argue, has been in control of both those opening couple of legs, especially the first one. And this is the outcome. Straight in the ball.
115.
It's a good start, but it's somewhat flashy.
I think if you wanted to know how Steve West was
58.
feeling, that bullseye start is exactly that sums everything up, because he's just feeling at the moment that nothing is really working for him.
Yeah, that is reflected
81.
in the table as well, because he was bottom of the table after 6 rounds of play. He's currently 5th
97.
because Richie Burnett lost by 3 legs to 0. So has somewhat gone underground. And his participation
23.
in Saturday night is very, very doubtful now, because he's only got 3 games to go. You get the feeling that West is going to have to recover in this game, and if he can't, he's going to need a lot of results to go his way over the next 90 minutes.
I guess in this
41.
particular fixture, yes, Steve needs the wins, but the saving grace may be the fact that Keegan Brown has just been that dominant in this group that he may have, like you say, a few results.
80.
But when your luck is out and something like that happens, you just think the darting gods are conspiring. That's what it is.
That's exactly how he's feeling right now. Wouldn't want to be that darting god right now, because I think there's a bit of blasphemy on the stage.
99.
Oh, he's not going to do it again, is he? I think that might send Steve over the edge.
140.
Steve was on the back
Keegan
end of
Car
this finish against
170.
Keegan Brown yesterday.
You can look this time, Steve, but you're going to have to take that 62 out. Otherwise,
134.
this could be
Keegan Car
catastrophic
62.
for your table. Different plan, different
Game shot on the
result.
third leg,
Really
Steve
good
West.
board flexibility from West.
Fourth leg, Steve to throw first.
Turns out he's got more than plan A.
Game on.
And just when he needed it, it showed up.
Yeah, we saw Steve, especially in that opening leg, tops,
60.
tens, double 5, nothing quite clicking. Brown straight in. And the adjustment again, really good.
146.
Perfect start for Keegan Brown.
If you're starting on double 16, you can't ask for more than that. Even if you get 2
40.
treble 20s, you're not really better off.
No, and the one thing with Keegan, you and I imagine with a lot of the players, but you
58.
can see that game plan. And because he's delivering it for the majority of his gameplay so far in Group C, he can stick with it, whereas West is looking for something.
140.
Yeah, good play is rewarded with you just doing the same things over and over. But if things are going wrong, like
96.
Laura's just mentioned, that's where you've got to dig deeper.
The pressure is relentless from Brown. West needs a big treble.
60.
And from 201, Keegan Brown's got 6 darts.
And in this format, winning by 2 legs is very big.
134.
He's going to get a shot to win by 3 legs to 1. Steve West's next game is against Richie
57.
Burnett.
Keegan O'Carr, 67.
Lose that game, you're gone. It's quite simple. But to be through, Saturday night is calling Keegan Brown's name again. He has not lost a game in this group. He might not even lose a game this week, because he is definitely going to finals night here at Double Trouble 5. It might be his week indeed, but it's definitely his group so far. An imposing performance. It might only be a 74 average, but look at the doubles. Impeccable. Welcome back to the action here on Friday afternoon, and some people are having a flawless day. Robert Thornton has won both of his games by a distance as well. He's beaten West by 3-1, and Richie Burnett by an even greater distance. But Keegan Brown has definitely kept up what he was doing yesterday, and that's why his name is currently in gold. Because with a 6-point cushion at the top, with 3 rounds to go, he is most definitely making Saturday night here at Double Trouble 5. Now we turn our attention to see who can possibly join him. So 2 wins out of 2 for Keegan, 2 wins out of 2 for Thornton. Can he keep this going? And if he beats Richie Howson in this game here, he will create a 4-point cushion over Howson and Campbell. Robert hasn't played on a Saturday night for a while here in Portsmouth. Whether it's a special week, whether it's a doubles week, whether it's a double trouble week. Maybe this format could unlock what he so desperately craves, which is another taste
Let's
of
take
winning.
Robert to throw first. Game on.
But realistically, Laura, we're talking about 5 players vying for the second spot, because top spot is going to belong to Keegan.
Yeah, and you asked the right question, I think.
No, sure.
Is this something that Robert Thornton can continue? Because we saw an almost magical moment, didn't we? He sealed that 3-0 victory over Richie Burnett with a 12 darter, which included a 118 finish.
51.
But he kicked off with the 160, backed it up with another couple of treble 20s. It was a really, really good display from Robert Thornton. As for
80.
Richie Howson, it's kind of been struggles at every element. The starting, then the scoring phase, and then when he has had opportunities to finish, just hasn't been able to convert. And just the one leg picked up so far in 2 games.
Yeah, it just
85.
feels a little bit erratic from Richie today. When you're in his position and you haven't won a game in the first 2 rounds, you might think, oh no, not today,
100.
not this Friday. I desperately want to make Saturday with Keegan. So whatever's going wrong, he's got to figure it out. Not 5 minutes ago, not 5 minutes from now, but now. And there you go. Right on cue.
Well, we know he's got the skills and he's got the experience, Richie House, and it's just, as you say, sometimes darts is played by humans. It's why
36.
I've mentioned it before, but it's why you enjoy sport. It's why you watch sport, because as much as you think you know how things are going to go, it doesn't always go to plan.
55.
Yeah, I don't mind that play. On 145 with 1 dart left. If he'd found that treble 15, he would have
99.
been on a 2 darter.
Richie Carr, 130.
Not against that whatsoever.
Yeah, and a 130 is one of those finishes that gives you options, because you only need to find the 1 treble. Doesn't find either, and to be
58.
fair, wouldn't have been forced to have gone for it anyway.
Yeah, Robert could get on his tail, though.
85.
I
Richie
think that's the
Carr,
kind of dart that he's
72.
got to get out of his armoury, because that was thrown too quickly, out of rhythm. Double 16 to finish. And
56.
there's double 8 again.
Robert Carr, 101.
Thornton poised to punish, but way off with dart number 2. It's a
77.
good correction, but
Richie Carr, 16.
double 8 has been a friend of Richie Howson so far this afternoon.
Yeah, but can he find it when he needs it?
Getting shown the first
Apparently
leg,
so.
Richie Howson.
1-0 Howson.
Second leg, Richie to throw first. Game on.
And as we've seen with the majority of the matches today, it's an early break of throw.
No score.
Now, I'm not going to be disrespectful to the crop of players that we've got in this group, but the vast majority of them are in their senior years, in their darting careers.
Experienced.
Yeah, lots of experience
36.
points. So let's take Richie Howson, that is, Richie Burnett, Robert Thornton.
51.
I'm not going to put Campbell into that. He's only 36. But of the players I've just mentioned, how many of them use long points?
140.
Yeah, good point. Not many. As in none.
Why is that? Because they come from a generation where points weren't that important. everything was just
100.
regulation. Nowadays, we're starting to see younger players utilising longer points for greater scoring and bigger
85.
treble clearance. But it's not just applicable for trebles, it's also applicable for doubles. If it wasn't, Luke Littler would have never hit 3 double tops against Peter Wright of the Premier
85.
League. So if you look at Thornton's setup here in the board, the point is almost disappearing because that's what he's comfortable with.
45.
Wayne Mardle always had a very small point. Not everybody can use a long point.
Oh,
57.
I guess it's the example is epitomised by someone like Luke Littler, as you've mentioned.
58.
Just because it works for Littler and Greaves doesn't mean it will work for you. I know that Laura, who's sitting next to me, uses a very long dart, but it's not a particularly long point, is it?
I think the whole thing, it just, but I
60.
don't, it does not feel
Robert
long
Carr,
when I hold the dart.
137.
But when I watch it back, it's like, well, yeah, no, they are really.
I just wonder if
97.
that was for
Richard
tops
Carr,
tops.
148.
Because it really shouldn't have been. Or should it? Maybe it was. Because maybe he
Game
thought
shown
that
the
Richie
second
Howson
leg,
would take
Richie
it out.
Howson. Third leg, Robert to throw first. Game on.
Well, well, well. Out of nowhere. A 2-0 lead for the Owl.
We said that Richie Howson, he was kind of
105.
perhaps searching for something, some inspiration. The 148, well, that couldn't have come at a better time.
Well, Owls are pretty good at searching for things with 360-degree vision.
16.
Okay, this is getting silly, Richie. What are you doing? Do you want double 16 or not?
100.
I think he's just obviously kind of comfortable with that side of the board. That yeah, maybe he is just aiming for that wire in between the two.
He might have a sweet spot, which is that wire between double 8 and double 16. So he's
100.
maybe not bothered which double he finds. Some people have done that in the past in double start darts where they've gone for the wire in between
60.
double 10 and double 15.
We quite often play a game called Harvard. You know, I'm sure you played it many times before. And one of the kind of things, challenges that we put up is to hit a treble. And I would always go treble 14 because
100.
I just like that lie that it might go treble 9, it might go treble 11, but I can throw them straight. I just necessarily the level's not always great.
The old window of opportunity
Yes,
shot.
absolutely. I don't go by
100.
hook or by crook. I will try my best to win.
Maybe that's what Richie's going to do here. I can still get to a finish. And does.
125. Robert Carr, 136.
Thornton with the first opportunity, and he cannot find a ton plus check out himself in response to Howson's 148.
100. Richard Carr,
Oh my, that
160.
third dot was delicious. If he'd hit that 160, I think Robert Thornton would not be sending Richie Howson a birthday card anytime soon.
60. Robert Carr, 36.
And even just getting a leg at this stage where there is a real cluster of players on the table, this could be all important,
Game
and it's
shown
a
the third
massive
leg,
last
Robert
start for
Thornton.
Robert Thornton.
Fourth leg, Richie to throw first. Game on.
I'm not going to say that it would be not the end of the world if he loses 3-2, but it's so tight
51.
between second position and the rest that any loss could be the reason why you don't make Saturday night now.
120.
Well, when we were talking right at the beginning of the show, we kind of implied that it felt that Keegan was basically through, especially if he could start off well, and he has. And then everyone else will be
140.
battling for that second spot, and that's what appears to be happening.
Yeah, just to give you some sort of simile
100.
as to what this group looks like. Keegan Brown is a bird in a tree, like a vulture that's already caught lunch. All the other birds that are left are looking for the scraps.
85.
Every single dart
100.
is being chirped at from Thornton. This is just the way he plays the game. Nothing is left behind.
I'm liking all these bird references. It's a hoot.
The second one was accidental.
55.
With the owl looking to pick up his first win.
81. Richie Carr,
Oh, there
170.
Is a dart that leaves a 2-darter. That is a positive thing. And that's a positive thing for the man in blue as well, because he is going to get a chance to take this game all the way.
83.
And
Robert
that is
Carr,
something we
100.
have not seen today so far. Just to give you an indication as to how tight things really are in this table, we've got one person on the stage right now in blue and white up against somebody in blue and white. But in the table, we've got a certain Robert Thornton on 8 points and a leg difference of -2, and Richie Howson, who's just beaten him by 3 legs to 1 on 8 points and -2. So they can't be separated in the table. And if you want to know who's who in this game, Laura.
Yeah, Keegan Brown throwing now. Yeah, he's safely through. Everything is good. Everything is rosy in the world of Keegan Brown. As for Scott Campbell,
First leg, Scott to through
bit of a
first.
mixed day so far. First game losing 3 legs to 1. But the next one put in the performance of the afternoon so far in that 3-1 win over Richihausen, averaging in excess of 90, which we don't talk about averages much when it comes to a double start because we know that there's a lot of missed starts at the start of legs. But yeah, to average 90, that is solid play from the Scot.
Yeah, any 90-plus average in double start is world
32.
class. Even in this day and age.
I feel like I got the kind of the notification. I've got the blue and white on. I think you've let the blue and white side down, to be honest, Paul.
I tried.
You got the white.
I went for navy and white. I didn't get the full memo where they said this is a darty party where you've got to dress like you play for Huddersfield Town or Queen's Park Rangers. Two very prominent domestic football teams.
41.
Well, let's just say the Scot is the taller of the two. And if he wins this match, if he can break this streak of Brown,
100.
he will find himself in second position in the table. On leg difference. And let's face it, this is always going to happen at some point this week because the lesser format of best of 5 legs, it lends itself to people being tighter in that column.
121.
Well, Scott Campbell, solid start, but Keegan Brown, I think what he's done so well over the last couple of days is this timing. He's taken his chances. He was perfect on the outer ring in his previous win over Steve West.
$82.
I can't say that I see the benefit of going for the bull there.
58.
Apart from the fact he gets under 130, but he would leave 128, which is a bit of a horrible finish. You'd kind of rather have 147. That's gone quite well. Brown's not on a finish, so he is coming back for 52 and plenty of options.
Yeah, so far, for Scott Campbell, he has got that preference of going over for double 16, but there is some pressure on that. That is perfect setup play from Keegan Brown.
That was amazing from Keegan.
36.
So he does get a chance off that impeccable approach. Double 6. Uh-oh. Trouble.
No trouble
Brown. On the trap door. So it is 1-0 Brown. And everything seems to be going his way today.
Yeah, and that's what we were saying. Against Steve West, there was a leg where he was completely out of contention, but Westie's finishing at the back end of legs just hasn't been on point, and he managed to take out some just real clutch combination finishes. He had the 94.
Yeah, we like to call those buzz finishes because they make you feel like you're buzzing, but it's almost as if you're prodding your opponent with something that buzzes like a cattle prod, as if to say, did you see that? Did you see that?
96.
Oh, Steve West saw them all right.
Oh, I'm not sure he saw. He definitely heard them. I think there was a point where he wasn't even looking because it just felt inevitable that the finishes were going to go for Brown.
No score.
And now Scott Campbell, after missing a couple of darts in that opening leg against the throw, cannot even get going.
$60.
When Keegan was winning his weekly title not that long ago on this stage, he was in tears because he wasn't sure if he was going to ever win again.
105.
He could win again on this stage in the next 32 hours.
133.
He wouldn't put it past him. So 2 players now we know that will be gracing the stage tomorrow.
Yeah, they've got a lot in common. They like to wear pink.
61.
They like double start darts, and they're both from southern England.
And both colleagues of ours.
100.
I'm getting this feeling of inferiority. We can play darts, but the other commentating colleagues are on the stage on Saturday night looking to do what Keegan's already done
100.
before.
Keegan Carr, 61.
Double 18. Oh, double 14 instead. That'll work.
Game shot on the second leg.
Everything's
Keegan round.
coming up, Keegan.
Third leg Scott to throw first. Game on.
And Campbell now with another battle, and it's a change to the opening double. This worked for him in the previous leg after 6 or 9 darts at double 16 did not work out.
32.
Very hard to figure out sometimes, isn't it?
Well, I think he would have persevered with tops if those first 2 weren't blockers.
He doesn't have to stay there. He can go to the scoring phase now, can Keegan, who is actually
56.
named after the now late, great Kevin Keegan. Why else would you be called Keegan?
123.
I think he was born around the same time as Keegan Bradley, so it definitely wasn't him.
65.
I think Campbell's name is pretty much right on the nose, isn't it, being from Scotland?
57.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think things are getting very,
100.
very risky here for Campbell. 2-0 down to a rampant Brown. And if Campbell doesn't win this game, he's going to be 2 points behind Thornton and Howson going into the next round. We've still got Steve West against Richie Burnett.
171.
The only crumb of comfort is that he's still in this game and he can still get out of it with a win. But he's going to have to be brilliant from here on out.
We've
96.
already seen the
Scott
118 converted by
118.
Robert Thornton earlier on. Can he join his fellow Scott by hitting the same finish? It's a different route.
That's the kind of thing Keegan does. Have they
59.
been practicing together?
I'm not necessarily sure it's always the right way to go when your opponent's not on a finish.
Yeah.
136.
Well-
Scott Carr, 59.
He knows something now for certain. He can't miss 40 points with 2. Here comes the angle.
39.
And he's undercooked
Keegan Carr,
it,
48.
giving Brown a chance of a 3-0 victory to stretch his lead at the top to 8 points. Woohoo, that was close.
And he knows it.
On a different day, he hits that treble.
Yeah.
And he does hit the double as well. Everything is going his way. He thought he'd bust it, but it turns out he's won it. So Scott Campbell is still in the melting pot, but is going to be 2 points behind the top 2 in the race for second spot going into round number 4. Well, safe to say that Keegan Brown is having a cracking time here at the Modus Super Series because he still hasn't lost. He might indeed have the perfect group if he can win his final 2 matches. They are to come in games 12 and 14 against Richie Burnett and Robert Thornton. But Richie Burnett currently on 4 points in the table. If he harbours any ambition of getting through this group and into Saturday night, he's got to get a move on. If he loses this game, he's not going to make it. And indeed, if Steve West loses, he's not going to make it because they're both sitting on 4 points. They've both got minus leg differences, the worst in the group. So it's survival time for these two.
First.
Win the rest of your games and pray it's enough. But it's not looking good for either player.
Yeah, it really isn't. No, they are very much reliant, not just on themselves in this situation, but also on favours as the rest of the afternoon progresses.
37.
Richie Burnett and Double 18 go together like a very fruity alcoholic beverage in the sun and strawberries and cream.
40.
It just feels right because that's what he won his world title on. He was so prolific at it in the 1990s and thereon. I don't like to talk about history too much in this format, but Richie actually made his debut in double start darts in the PDC in the year 2000.
41.
He beat Roland Shelton on debut at the World Grand Prix, and it wasn't even in Ireland. That's how long ago it was.
60.
Yeah, ever since I've been working on that event, it's always been in Leicester. I missed out on those City West days.
100.
Well, the City West in the Dublin region gave Steve West arguably his biggest day.
119.
He didn't win a PDC title, but he did retire Phil Taylor from the World Grand Prix. And that's a pretty good
140
piece of bragging rights, isn't it?
It's not bad at all. Yeah, when you think the World Grand Prix, Taylor won 11 times?
40.
Just the 11?
Yeah. 16 world match players, 16 world titles, yada, yada, yada.
60. Richard Carr, 150.
But does that go to prove that actually the World Grand Prix is still very hard to win?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't have 16 of them.
60. Steve Carr, 120.
Well, this is a very Steve West finish, usually. But today is not one of his good days. That's a brilliant
80.
setup.
Richard Carr, 90.
But it could be rendered academic. Burnett needs to stay straight. Does so. It's ball for Burnett.
65. Steve Carr, 40.
Gritted teeth. And now the tops.
Getting shot the first leg, Steve West.
Well, I'm trying to read that reaction, and it's one of,
Second leg, Richie
I'm
to
happy
through
I've hit
first.
it, but where have you been?
Game on.
Steve is a very competitive person. Doesn't matter what he does.
100.
He's a very selfless person, but he's still very competitive. And that's a very tricky balancing act to have in a competitive natured sport like darts.
Yeah, but you notice how kind of Steve is when he's playing. He looks really, you can see he's focused. He reacts to good darts, he reacts to bad darts. But as soon as the game shot is called, regardless of what side he's on, he is straight there to congratulate his opponent if they win. Very much look what Steve West is like. Two different people on and off the oche, and you have to be a bit like that in sport.
Well, he's on for
59.
the false 9, which is a real thing in this sport. You can get a 9-darter off the back of a missed first visit, and he was going for the 57s. He could have gone for the
99.
171 to leave the 170, and that's the somewhat amorous way of getting a 9-darter, isn't it, in double start?
140.
There haven't been many different 9-darters outside of straight start
83.
501.
Richard Carr, 121.
301 doesn't count, by the way. Well, Steve should be castigating himself right there because he's left 159.
And Richie Burnett doing the same thing here because he's just strayed with the first dart. So the 1-2-1 no longer on, looking to set up in the knowledge he's coming back. But it's a disastrous visit for Burnett as well.
Yeah, Richie Burnett ordered the creme brulee and he got jello.
119. Richard Carr 95.
Now, there's some creative thinking. He's not going double-double because he just doesn't do that.
No, it's very much something that you'll see used more and more in the modern version of the game.
Steve Carr 40.
Richie Burnett, quite traditional.
Getting shot on the second leg, Steve West.
When he's playing well, he can
Third leg,
hit
Steve to
tops
throw first.
with his eyes shut.
I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, using your sight is probably a bit more advantageous.
Yeah, I think it is.
101.
He was on for a second perfect start there of sorts. And just a reminder to anybody just tuning in, whoever loses this game is gone.
160.
Oh, you mentioned perfect starts. It's a perfect start for Burnett.
100.
There is a purposeful look on the face of Westy, who always used to walk out to a song by Journey.
80.
The disappointment of no 9 darter there for Burnett. Palpable. Oh, what a journey this has been for these guys this week. This is their 5th day of action.
60.
And it's very likely that both are going home this afternoon without a return ticket to the lounge.
Yeah, when you look at the groups and how they all pan out throughout the week, and we probably say it week in, week out, but you can make an argument for absolutely everyone. And unfortunately, especially in Group C, you are going to have 4 people that walk away very disappointed indeed.
95.
Yeah, more great use of the bullseye there. That had a lot of calculating now attached to it, because if he gets 225s, he leaves 170.
24.
You don't see it as much these days, but people used to do that a bit more. And this is match point. And that is how you win a match. Steve West, you can take a bow, because that is a wonderful performance. Exactly what he required to get back into contention. He can't afford to make any more mistakes, but if he can replicate that kind of stuff with 3 out of 3 on the finishing, he's still got a chance of getting through this. Welcome back to Double Trouble 5, and in Group C we have a cluster of players mounting a charge towards the end, and in some cases they're just about clinging on. Richie Burnett looks like he's toast, but Keegan Brown at the top of the table, he is soaring above everybody else. Look at this, 8-point cushion. We've still got 2 rounds to go. Keegan hasn't lost. The others have lost plenty of times, but as you can see, with Howson and Thornton on 8 points, Campbell and West on 6. It's going to be between those 4 players as to who gets the number 2 spot. So we now go into the Scottish Derby match. Both adorned in Scottish blue with a little bit of trim. But it's pretty simple. If Robert Thornton wins this game and gets to 10 points, Campbell is eliminated. It's that finite. So this is Thornton's chance to put the pressure on everybody else. If he can't win this fixture, we have most definitely got some trouble.
Yeah, it would make for kind of interesting reading for the rest of us if it does go the way of Scott Campbell, because ultimately we'd still have lots of people in the running for that second spot.
Yeah, we'll have to break out the
First leg, Scott to throw first.
course-specific
Game on.
Modus Super Series abacus. But fair play to Campbell. At times today, he's played some wonderful darts, but is it fair to say that it's been a little bit erratic?
Yeah, I think that's more than fair.
32.
And even just kind of that element, just the starting off, the combination of kind of shifting. We've seen tops hit, we've seen 16s,
40.
we've seen 19s, whereas Thornton, well, you wouldn't expect anything else but true to form, persistent with that tops target.
I wouldn't be surprised in Robert's house if he's not got a framed picture of top somewhere.
180.
You say, has it been a bit erratic? And we've seen some brilliant stuff from Scott Campbell, including, like mentioned before, the best performance of the day
60.
with a 3-1 win over Richie Howson. But then the other 2 performances, just that little drop-off. And I think the last one, that 3-0 defeat at the hands of Keegan Brown, that would be most disappointing because he had 2 darts in the first leg, 2 darts in the third leg. Could have quite easily have been 2-1 up and just perhaps made things, a lot easier for himself.
81.
Now, the rhythm was breaking down there for Robert. If he's going to get through this situation to snag second spot, the rhythm has got to be good from now until the very end. It can't break down. And that's a lesson to every dart player watching
83.
this, because if you're under pressure, the one thing you must rely on is rhythm.
60. Scott your car, 109.
Well, Campbell firmly in front in this opening leg. And it's back over to double 16. Started off the leg with this.
77.
Still might finish it off on double 16. Plenty of time.
180.
And there's the rhythm you're
Scott your
talking
car,
about.
32.
Well, get rid of it, Scott.
Getting shot on the first
Well
leg,
done.
Scott
The
Campbell.
180 means nothing now.
Second leg, Robert to throw first. Game on.
And just like last night in Group B, we're struggling to get someone hitting more than 180 per game. It only happened
45.
once last night. All day today, we've only had 5 180s. Now, if that doesn't educate you as to what is diminished by playing double start, then I don't know what is. I've always said there are 2 great ways of playing this format.
51.
You can be a great starter or a brilliant chaser. Dave Chisnell, a fantastic chaser. Big
41.
scorer. Maybe not the world's best starter, but one of the best chasers. Van Gerwen, one of the things about him is that he was always good at both.
180.
Well, you've mentioned having more than 180 in a single match. Well, Scott Campbell has now just done it.
140.
And you want to know why that's weird? Because I said exactly the same last night to Trina Gulliver, and the moment I mentioned it, it happened.
100.
Oh, this would be some leg. It already is some leg.
140. Scott the car,
170 for
170.
2-0.
Yeah, Grimace, really frustrated. Forced to go to the bottom of the board.
48.
Well, yesterday,
Carr,
Richie Burnett was on this
135.
number and didn't go bull first when Robert was on a finish. Oh, that was destined for the bull, wasn't it?
95.
It was such a beautiful mark.
Scott the car, 122.
But Scott Campbell here, 1-2-2, one of those finishes that I imagine he would have practiced many a time.
$54. Robert
Time's
Carr,
gone by.
40.
You might as well just give Robert the leg. There it is. He is showing signs of sharpening up in this game. He was a bit loose at the start, but things have improved. They're both named players here. I bet they can trace their heritage to places in either northern England or southwest Scotland.
32.
There is a place in Scotland called Campbelltown. Very famous. Got some incredible distilleries there. It's not far from
100.
Paul McCartney's house, which is not far from the Mull of Kintyre. That's why he wrote about it. There is a place called Thornton up in northwest England, not far from Blackpool, a place where Robert would probably rather not go ever again because he doesn't like playing there.
140.
Something that you can probably empathise with.
A little bit. But I got 2 wins in Blackpool. He just got 1. One of them was against Robert.
Just thought you dropped that one in.
Yeah, I had to drop that
Yeah.
in. I only do it once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you played such a legendary player at the World Championship,
140.
at the World Grand Prix, and the World Match Play, and to get your first ranking title, that's a privilege. He got his first ranking title against
46.
me. I got mine against him.
121.
Something poetic about it.
Absolutely. Speaking of poetry,
81.
tops again after 12.
Oh, but this is a really good leg from Thornton. It's against the darts. This is a match yesterday where Robert Thornton got the better of Scott
Robert Carr,
Campbell.
40.
It was a tight match. It was 3-2.
Don't split this.
Game shot
In
the
fact,
third leg.
he's just
Robert
done what
Thornton.
Campbell usually does. Going across the hockey and using the
Fourth leg,
angle of
Robert
the
to serve
stem and
first.
barrel to have a better backboard for the double. That was really well done and not
Game on.
the kind of thing that Robert usually does.
You just see Thornton there just
No score.
chatting away to himself. He knows he's in a really solid position but cannot get leg number 4 underway.
This is the point of no return for Campbell. He doesn't win the next 2 legs. He is not going to
32.
Saturday night on this occasion. He's struggling to get in. Just in the nick of
40.
time.
Yeah, both players finding that double. 6th start of asking.
$140.
Now you have to respond. Oh,
81.
he's not happy with that one. He knew it wasn't going to register as soon as it came out of his fingers.
Haven't heard too many cries of "Oh, Robert" so
41.
far today.
Should be an anthem. Like "Oh, Canada."
60.
This is still very tight.
$41.
This might just be the quietest Scottish derby in sport.
They're just full of focus. They both know the importance of this match. every match is important,
55.
but as we get to the business end of things, they can be decisive in terms of how the rest of your week may or may not go.
Richie Howson is playing against Steve West next. We've got a very similar scenario coming up for you in the next match. Because if Howson wins, he will eliminate West. So after this round of play, we could be down to 2 people
80.
vying for that one spot. Problem is, Robert Thornton's got Keegan Brown last. Richie
58.
Howson's got Richie Burnett.
Got the car,
Very different
167.
ends of the spectrum. But that is for the next round. What happens before we even get there?
Slight hesitation because he doesn't have to go and chase the ball route with Thornton on a finish. Maybe just
99.
disrupted the rhythm of Scott Campbell slightly, but still in a solid position to, well, be our first game so far today that would go to a last leg decider.
123. He's got a car,
What a
68.
recovery that was. This could be a shot that Campbell needs to find to stay in Group C. Bravo,
Gains on
it's
the
right in the
fourth leg,
middle.
Scott
That guy knows
Campbell.
about pressure. He's done it with a Scotland
Bit of
shirt
final
on.
leg, Scott to throw first.
He's done it with his own shirt on. Seriously impressive under pressure.
And you can see how much they're both feeling it up there, just having a little bit of a mop down before they go for this
Game on.
deciding leg. As I said yesterday, it was Thornton that got the better of Campbell 3 legs to 2.
Yeah, fair to say that speaking to the Scots this morning, they're not a big fan of the weather here on the south coast of England because it's a bit warm. And that does permeate
58.
this playing arena. So if you haven't got a towel, you might be in trouble.
And we have to say that we are quite oblivious to it
61.
here in our very nice, purpose-built, air-conditioned commentary box.
Indeed, on the Juliet balcony, overseeing play on the stage. We might not be under pressure, but they are.
83.
If Robert does not get rid of Campbell in this leg, he
100.
might come back and bite him. And curiously as well, the difference in their leg difference is nothing.
180.
And that 180, another one from Campbell, might just be the difference.
Scott Campbell under pressure. He knows how to find
140.
a big score. Just the 20 points separating them, but it's Campbell with the opportunity first to set things up when he gets back to the oche.
$60.
He persevered, trying to get through to a treble 20, but Thornton, no issue finding it.
Oh, so good.
180. He's got a car,
He's done all he
120.
can. Does he get a chance? The marker's perfect for the 60. He's got the angle, but he hasn't got the treble. And Thornton
60.
can
Got a
send
car,
his
20.
compatriot out of double treble 5.
No score.
Campbell's
Got
still
a car,
here.
60.
Yeah, Thornton was just getting further and further away, and you think from this position Campbell should have at least 2 darts at tops.
Time to survive as Thornton watches. He now has the same double, somewhat fortuitously. That could have easily careered into the 1.
Really is taking his time.
$40.
Campbell might be going out, and that's
Double
about as
car,
angry as
20.
I've ever seen him on that stage. He is devastated at missing that opportunity. And he has been eliminated by his compatriot. So after 3 180s in that game, and 50% on the doubles coming into that last effort, it's not enough. So Robert Thornton has taken Campbell out, but his participation in Saturday is by no means certain.
10. And Scotland's are off to the perfect start.
Look at the head there for Jimmy Vansky, and Burnett steps up, and Richie Burnett does find double 10, and it is a 4-3 victory.
60 to complete a 4-1 success. Third time in the chart, and the Netherlands are into the semi-finals. History is in the making, because for the first time ever, there will be a paired 9-dart shootout. Well, this is the loudest I think I've ever heard the live now. Steve West is in race again. Well, that might well be the biggest cheer we see tonight. And kicks off for Maximum. And I suppose the one advantage of well, that is absolutely incredible. Scott Campbell in a 9-dart shootout has found 2 180s. So Scotland and Belgium are into the semi-finals. The Republic of Ireland head for home. The Netherlands are into the final. Much to the delight of this packed-out Portland.
And he only needed one more. It is Wales that is through to the final.
And it's double Dutch delight. The Netherlands are the inaugural international pairs champions.
Only one winner. It's the Netherlands!
Tickets are available, of course, if you want to come down and watch the darts from very close quarters. And when we have a special week like this, why not join us on a Saturday night so you can see who wins a double trouble or an international pairs or indeed a regulation Modus Super Series week. But if you are quick, you can sometimes get tickets for the Champions Night. That is the most popular ticket in town. At least it was again on Saturday night just gone. As for who's going to make it to Saturday night from Double Trouble 5, we know that Keegan Brown is going there. But who else? Robert Thornton is now on 10 points. And that means that Steve West, if he wants to get over the top of both Howson and West, he's going to have to win this game, and he's going to have to beat Scott Campbell, who is in the practice room right now, licking his wounds a little bit. We've just had a game that had 5 180s in it. Campbell with 3 of them, and losing by 3 legs to 2. So much for the scoring element.
Through first.
It was more about the finishing, wasn't it, Laura?
It really was, yeah. Ultimately, Scott Campbell had his chances, but it's Robert Thornton that got the better in the battle of the Scots. As you say now, all eyes on Howson West, because West, as you've said, finds himself in a very similar position as Scott Campbell did in the previous match, and he's in must-win territory. But there was a real improvement, wasn't there, in that last match for Steve West. Came out 3-0 winner over Richie Burnett, but he was perfect on the outer ring, and that's where he's really been struggling at the back end of legs.
Yeah, earlier in the day, he couldn't finish.
54.
And then all of a sudden, in round number 3, he finishes everything. No wonder he feels frustrated with this sport at times. But if he's going to make it through to Saturday night for a second possible double trouble title, this is what has to happen. He's got to beat Howson. He has to beat Campbell. And he needs Robert Thornton to lose
45.
to Keegan Brown after his last game. He can set a clubhouse lead.
140.
And that's it. It is technically out of his hands, because if Thornton wins game 14,
140.
he's going to be very tough to catch, even for Richie Howson, who's in a better position than Steve. 74 left, so he does have 2 options.
90.
That was one of them.
But it's been a really good start here for Steve West, and it's almost like he's got to that point of no return. I know, yes, he is mathematically still in it, but reliant on favours and perfection. But seems to have relaxed, and it's allowed him to play some of his best stuff.
40. Richie Carr 130.
He misses 2 for the first leg. And Howson, of course, is on double 5. Look at West in the background. It's like he's walking up from a
125. Stevie
nightmare.
Carr 20.
Well, get those eyes back open, Steve West, because you've got another chance.
He's
And
got the
yes,
first
Steve
leg,
West
Steve
this
West.
time takes it.
Second leg, Steve to
You know,
throw
when
first.
you wake up from a nightmare and you think, oh, that wasn't very pleasant.
on.
But then you realise it didn't happen. And that's exactly how Steve feels right now. It didn't happen. So stay awake and keep ploughing that
60.
tops and treble 20.
Well, both players off to a quick start. Howson making a
108.
better start of the pair.
Here he comes.
180.
When his game plan clicks, it's very nice to watch.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the first max that we've seen from Steve West so far today.
100.
You're not wrong.
Are we going to see 2? I was getting carried away then.
97.
He is from Greater London / Essex. He's from that border of being
59.
from
Stevie
London,
Carr
Essex,
164.
Hertfordshire. He's in that vicinity. He's definitely from the southeast of England, but doesn't live there anymore.
57.
Yeah, do yourself a favour, Steve. Look at the score and feel good about it, because
81.
even though Richie
Stevie
Howson has
Carr
left himself a finish,
107.
this should be 2-0. It might be now.
Game show on the second leg, Steve
He's
West.
on a charge. That's his 5th consecutive leg
Third
today.
leg, Richie to throw first. Game on.
Look at that for an average after 2 legs and double start. That's better than
No score.
world class.
Yeah, everything just seems to be coming together for Steve West right at the back end of this afternoon session, but it could be a case of making that charge a
score.
little bit too late.
What are your feelings on using the bull as a cover starting shot?
40.
I mean, when he missed those first 2, I guess, you know, we have seen Steve hit it, not even as a cover shot. I think he hit it first up, but I mean, if that's the game plan, as long as you're confident and you're sticking with it,
38.
because now this time he's opted for a different route.
Even though it hasn't been brilliant at the start of this 3rd leg, it's as you were. It's only 2 points between you.
125.
What we have to say is that there might be 2 points between these two combatants, but there's only 1 leg between them in the leg difference. So if West can get a
58.
big win over Howson, that's bad news for Richie. He's got to fight back now. And it feels like he's been swimming against the tide a bit today.
100.
Yeah, things haven't come particularly easy for Richie Howson. A bit like Steve, those first couple of matches just on the back foot from the very off. And
135.
Steve, yeah, we've mentioned it was the finishing that was the problem for him, but for Richie, wasn't even getting many chances at seeing off legs.
100.
You and I were surmising that he's not hitting the doubles that he wants to start. He's relying on doubles next door. Well, that is knocking on the front door.
136.
And this may have to go. And it's not going to. Slight hesitation. Just didn't quite get the
60.
grip right there with the last
Stevie Carr,
start.
90.
What kind of grip has Steve got on this result? Double 15.
Game shot on the match.
That is a
Steve West.
very tight grip. A vice-like grip as he wins 6 consecutive legs in the middle of Friday afternoon. And now he's got that little jump in standard. He's won the last 6 legs, hit his last 6 doubles from 8 attempts. He's firmly in the mix. Things are getting very interesting this afternoon, and if you're just joining us, we do have Keegan Brown on the hockey against the legend that is Richie Burnett right now to close out round number 4. But Keegan's already through. He's been through for about an hour. He hasn't lost in this group. 8 wins from 8. As for Richie, you can see those shoulders slumped a little bit because he's not going to get through this group. He's still at the foot of the table, and Saturday night is not calling his name on this occasion. But it might still be for Robert Thornton, Steve West, and Richie Howson is clinging on for dear life.
Game on.
But it looks like it's a 2-horse race for the second spot. I'll give you the lowdown in the next game. But this one is all about whether Keegan Brown can keep his undefeated streak alive.
108.
That's a pretty good start for Keegan. As for Richie Burnett, he started the session pretty well. Got that 3-1 win over Scott Campbell, but subsequently in his next 2 games, lost them both to 0. But he's only been afforded 1 opportunity at the outer ring, and it's just been a bit of a tail off in that mid portion, which has really, as you've mentioned, proved very costly for Richie Burnett in terms of his progress.
He's off and running. Well, he's off.
63.
Not really running. When you get your double with the first start of the visit, let's say it's tops, you're automatically thinking, I want to get off with 100.
83.
20. At worst, I want to get off with 80. If it's anything below that, you feel like you've wasted something.
Yeah, I agree.
81.
Especially the calibre of the player, the way they play. Keegan, right from the very off, we asked questions about the fact that he'd gone through the card. Would he be able to maintain it today? Is that motivation always still going to be there, especially when you know that you're through? But Keegan just looks completely locked in.
30.
This one did front really closely yesterday, and it was Burnett edged out in a last leg decider.
Yeah, Keegan was playing at a pretty
99.
decent level as well. 84.3 average. Burnett with something very, very similar. That was the kind of game where you made one critical mistake and it cost you the entire fixture.
28. Keegan Carr, 76.
Keegan's not making many mistakes.
Game shot the
That's
first
all.
leg, Keegan Brown.
It's just really polished.
Second leg, Richie to throw first. Game on.
It's amazing how over the years his exuding of the confidence has changed. If you look at when he won the World Youth Championship at the O2,
No score.
it's like he was jousting with Robbie John Rodriguez. Nowadays, he's a bit more wily. He tends to focus inwards better, and the confidence is hidden, which I think is a better tactic.
111.
Well, he's one of those players that's obviously played her at the Super Series. We've mentioned already that he has picked up a weekly title here, but he never normally comes in as an odds-on or as one of the favourites. I've seen him on several occasions, kind of been sat at the foot, and he always likes to try and upset the odds, defy the expectation that perhaps people have because they kind of perhaps don't respect all of the achievements that he's made over the years.
Yeah, that's a very fair statement, Laura, because last night Fallon Sherritt was the outsider.
No score.
And she was the person who genuinely could have won 4 out of 4 last night. If you want to see what happens in Group B, you're going to have to join us from 10 p.m. tonight. I think Richie Burnett's got to join the party here
41.
because he's thrown 3 visits and is not off yet.
And whilst we still question maybe the motivation of Keegan, now he knows it's through, do you also question the motivation of someone
45.
who knows that it doesn't matter what they do, they're not even going to affect the table in any way, shape or form here?
If we were playing this game table blind,
99.
could we look at Richie Burnett and think he's out? I don't think we could, because he puts 100% into everything he does, no matter where he sits.
121. $136.
Look at Keegan in the background.
26.
If he was
Keegan
any more
Ricard,
relaxed,
56.
he'd be John Candy in a hammock with a cigar.
$36.
And that, for me, feels like a rare miss for Keegan Brown when it comes to the finishing. He's had a match where he's gone 3 from 3, only missed a couple of darts at a double in his previous match.
100.
That's
Keegan
been an
Ricard,
element for me
20.
that's been really impressive for Keegan.
Initially, he was thinking about splitting that. I think he was caught in two minds.
16.
Maybe he saw the score that Burnett had, but now he knows he's only got two options, double 2 or double 1.
Would you have bussed back to double 5?
16.
To double 10?
Keegan Ricard, 4.
No, because I hated it with a passion. Rather have double 2. Over the barrel, from the angle, just like
on the
that.
second leg, Keegan Brown.
It's like I was in his head.
Third
I'm
leg,
in your
Keegan to throw
head.
first. Game on.
But I don't know what you're about to do, so show us.
Again, that start. It's been really impressive from Keegan. I've mentioned the finishing, but yeah, you can't leave out the fact that
17.
there haven't been many occasions when he hasn't started first throw.
Plan B now is unlucky for
41.
some. It's not the worst start there from Richie, but there's evidence that he's a very hard man to please.
I think it probably goes back to more the fact that, yeah, you've got one dart in
84.
hand and you want to be keeping it straight. You expect it to at least hit the 20, if not the treble 20.
That's fairly precise. That's a 180 with a broken back.
180.
Just the way he arched his back on that third dart, that made me twinge.
One of the most, not just flamboyant, but flexible
58.
players, perhaps.
Oh, yeah. Should see the guy swim. He's like an eel. Once saw him in a pool in Dusseldorf.
140.
Looked around, he disappeared. He was underwater for about 45 seconds. Just going from end to end. It was incredible. Not one ripple in the water.
53. Richie Ricard, 140.
He's looking to make some waves here, and he can't do it with the 140, but he can set up. He's looking for another big treble.
60.
That's mightily unlucky because they were 3 well-thrown darts.
Yeah, that's pretty well thrown. He's going to be on a finish now, isn't he? But how small? Pretty small.
180.
It could be another
Richie Ricard, 80.
catastrophic situation for Burnett. Tops.
60.
And that could be
Keegan
that. The
Ricard,
way that
56.
Keegan Brown has been dispatching people. This could be it.
Yeah,
9
he's
from
on the
9.
match, Keegan Brown.
And he will have a chance to win this group with the faultless campaign. And his last match against Robert Thornton will have a massive bearing on who joins him on Saturday night. Welcome to the last round of play in Group C. And as you can see, Robert Thornton and Steve West have won in the previous round alongside the already qualified for Saturday night Keegan Brown. So we skirmish to the death in this final round because West, Thornton and Howson can all still qualify. That's proven by the table because there's 2 points between second and fourth. Campbell and Burnett are gone, but Howson needs an awful lot of favours before he plays in game 15. Steve West needs to set the target for Robert Thornton before he plays against Brown in the game after this. So it looks complicated on paper, but it really isn't. If West doesn't win, he is not going to make it through this group. I wonder what they're talking about on the stage. Caption this.
Who knows? Yeah, quite often you'll see the players, just as they're warming up, they're all nice, they're relaxed, just before Paul Hinks shouts that magical game on. Did you ever used to have a conversation with people? I don't imagine, different stages, I don't imagine you did at all.
No, very rarely. Usually, some people would try and upset my mindset by stealing my sunglasses. Wes Newton did that. Dave Chisnell did that. But Kevin Painter did that first.
First leg, Steve to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, it worked for Kevin because he beat me 5-4 and the other two lost. So I got the hang of that. But right now it is game face time. And if Steve can replicate what he's done in the last couple of rounds, he's got a really good chance of making it through to Saturday night with a really good last day charge. Because it's going to be difficult for Thornton, even though he's won 3 games from 4 today, to beat Keegan Brown because he's got his own motives. He wants to have an undefeated group.
Yeah, there's not many players that say they can say that they've gone through both days by going through the card. So yeah, absolutely. I think that is the target now for Keegan Brown. But you have to say, if West does manage to get his way through this group, especially after the start that he had,
89.
lost both his opening matches, but it's been a real turnaround the last couple.
41.
And I wonder if it's again gone back to that position. You start the day off and you're like, right, I have to win everything. I have to just put myself in contention, to then losing those couple, relaxing. And we've seen some really strong performances
100.
in the last 2 outings for Steve West, especially when it's come to the finishing. And now it's all back in his hands to a degree.
60.
Yeah, essentially this is a final. Because if you want to play on Saturday for your 6th consecutive day, this is the game that counts. Don't think
85.
that you might qualify if you win. Play to win to qualify in your mind. And lots of that will help, but then again, it's not a guarantee, because ask Scott Campbell. He had 3 against Thornton and it wasn't enough.
93.
Scott Campbell yesterday got a
Steve
whitewash win
60.
over Westy. Steve looking to change that today, and it's tops through a 160 in the first leg.
120. Scott the car, 134.
Just the wrong side of the wire.
That would have been 340 points in 6. Emphasising that if you are in the mid-300s, you're better off leaving something
52.
like 340
Steve
instead
Carr,
of 339. Tops. Oh, this is a big dart. And it
Reach
really
on the first
does
leg, Steve
register
West.
a wonderful shot.
Second leg, Scott to throw first. Game on.
Almost used the previous dart to bounce it in. It's a good job it was high. I just wonder if you are slightly more
No
senior
score.
in years. Sorry, Steve, but it's a fact. He's 51. He comes from an era where open
40.
tournaments were best of 5. So he's maybe a little bit more psychologically ready for a best of 5 situation like this than maybe a lot of the ADC
80.
guys these days who play a lot of best of 7.
Yeah, I think there is definitely some truth in the fact that if you're used to playing
41.
a format, I imagine actually even Scott Campbell, though, playing obviously not quite playing as much in recent years, until recent years on the PDC circuit and the things like the Challenge Tour, but playing
100.
in events like the Scottish Open, for example, where again, I think that one is another one that just starts off best of 5 and creeps up as it goes along. But there will be a lot of players, as you mentioned, that just
100.
best of 5 is just something they don't entertain because they don't have to.
Yeah, because with the popularity of the sport, all of the formats have started to climb.
66.
Well, that visit has not gone to plan. For Campbell, at least. We just saw West in the background wafting his shirt.
100.
I get the feeling it's rather warm down there. But I think all the players have handled the conditions really well over the last couple of days.
Yeah, and I think it's a conversation
99.
that we've had here at the Super Series on and off now for, well, the last couple of months, it feels like, because we have been sat in this heat wave and players have to get used to it. Everyone's got the same situation, the same circumstances. I mean, you must recall times when you've
60.
played previously.
Got the
It
car,
is
156.
some of the hottest venues probably ever.
This looks pretty hot. It was. But West has got another
82.
chance of a 160.
Stevie Car, 160.
Not this time.
100.
How on earth
the
has he
car,
got that in
74.
there?
And how's it hung on? Campbell now looking to level things up at 1-1.
34.
You've heard
Stevie
that
Car,
clip
60.
for the wire and a sarcastic thumbs up from Scott Campbell.
What an opportunity this is. Well, this time he
Each on
didn't
the
have a
second
marker
leg,
and he
Steve
didn't
West.
need it. It's 2-0 West.
Third leg,
That is
Steve to
8
third
legs in a
first.
row on the
Game
stage. He's charging like a bull in a china shop right now. If he wins this leg,
120.
he's the favourite to make Saturday night. Because it would be 10 points, a leg difference of +3. Robert Thornton would have to beat Keegan Brown
40.
to make Saturday night. But a win for West, it would ensure that Richie Howson can't get through.
140.
He's throwing at that treble 20 right now like he's angry at it.
He probably is. He's probably questioning why this is taken right to the very end of the group before everything starts
140.
coming together.
Yeah, like a child that's about 3 hours past their curfew. He's saying, "Where have you been?"
$43.
That's okay. He's still 2 trebles ahead.
Scott Campbell just looking
85.
to reduce the deficit, but a loss of form with dart number 3.
We have seen Steve in these kind of positions before where he's been
94.
comfortable. The last thing he needs right now is for this to get interesting. He wants it to be completely boring. Just get rid of it, win 3-0, and then sit in the practice room and wait to see if he's done enough. And it's not every week that we see somebody qualify from Group
58.
Group C
Stevie
on
Car,
10 points.
104.
That very rarely happens. I think that was a very safe 20.
64.
Yeah, he was hoping, but I get it. I get it completely. But yeah, 3-0 has been the equation that's really started to work for Steve West towards the back end of this group.
126. Stevie Car, 40.
Can you set the target?
$20.
Not yet.
Got the car, 52.
And if you think leg difference is coming into it right now, it isn't. Not right now.
But this, just to get Steve West a little bit more embroiled. And yeah, that looks like it would have felt good as it left the hand of Scott Campbell. And now it's very awkward indeed.
If he goes any further, he's going to be sitting on the table.
20. Stevie Car, 20.
Double 10's been very good to him in this game. He's hit it twice.
Give
Make
some of
that
Steve
3.
West.
It is 3 games in a row that he has won 3 legs to 0, and it might be good enough to get him into Saturday night for a second possible double trouble title. Nobody's won it twice. West does have a chance, but it all hinges on his close pal Thornton. He's got to beat Keegan Brown next. A very confusing table all day long, but it's become very, very simple because Steve West has set the target in second spot behind Keegan Brown. And yes, Keegan is going to win this group by at least 8 points. Considering the company he's been in over the last day and a half, that's quite incredible. But it's this simple. If Robert Thornton wants a tilt at a second double trouble title, he must beat the man who hasn't been beaten. He's got to do what people can't do here in Double Trouble 5. He's got to find one good performance
First leg, Robert
with the darts to
on.
punch his own ticket. It's in his hands, but can he beat Brown to pip Steve West to Saturday night? That's the question.
And it has been a few
40.
games since we've seen Robert Thornton up on the stage. He played his previous one, and it was a real battle, actually. It was a real test for Robert Thornton. He got the better of Scott Campbell. He denied those 3 180s from Campbell to win 3 legs to 2, knocking Campbell out in the process. So he has been tried, he has been tested, and he's come out the right side of it. But this is, you feel,
43.
an even bigger test in a Keegan Brown who has firmly got his eyes on winning every single match in Group C.
The way you look at this fixture is interesting
36.
in my own eyes, because look at the way that Roberts played this week. If he gets in between his ears right and he's fully
78.
focused, he can win this game. But if he isn't, 99 times out of 100, he's not going to win this game because Keegan has been so chill.
95.
Yeah, the day, I guess, in its entirety, the day today has been up and down for Robert Thornton, who's won 2, lost 2.
60.
From positions like this,
105.
he would like to halve his score. The last thing he needs are darts that are veering left and right.
30.
That is not what he wants. He's offering the leg on the plate if he doesn't register at least 1 treble. That's rather special.
133.
We saw 132 last night from Neil Duff, which was a bit of a perler.
60. Keegan O'Carr,
I have to
132.
say, as Ton Plus finishes go, this is my favourite. He doesn't necessarily have to chase this route. A good thing as well, because the treble 19
46.
attempt way off.
Yeah, some dart players like the finer things in life, like champagne finishes. I'd like to know why it was called that.
40.
Who came up with that
Keegan O'Carr,
vernacular?
86.
And what's he going to do? Is he going to lay up? Of
61.
course not.
Robert O'Carr, 150.
I wouldn't have been surprised if he had. This is an edgy first leg.
Yeah, Robert Thornton
80.
will know
Keegan
exactly
O'Carr,
what is
25.
required of him.
That's just about him, but no reaction.
No score.
There is now, though.
Robert
That's
O'Carr,
too many.
70.
He's done the anti-Richie-hausen.
Single 20 for tops. For a bit of a steal.
30. Keegan O'Carr, 25.
I was just holding my breath for a moment there because I couldn't quite work out if that was in or not.
He thought that was. That one most
Game
definitely
shot of
is.
first leg, Keegan Brown.
And he's 1/3 of the way to a perfect
Second leg,
group.
Keegan to throw first. Game on.
Everybody knows. Doesn't matter what week it is. If you're perfect in Group C or A or B, that's no guarantee of success on a Saturday. It's
54.
merely a means to a Saturday, and then you have to execute on a Saturday. And both of these guys have. Steve West has.
39.
5 times.
I think anyone that's played in this previously will understand very quickly. Group A, Group B, Group C, it is just a means for qualification.
100.
Their qualification routes, I mean, they're quite long ones for some people who've been here since Monday morning, but ultimately the only thing you have your eyes set on is
100.
making Saturday.
You know what the narrative's going to be if it's Keegan, one of West or Thornton, Mitchell, Duff, Sherrick,
100.
and Whitlock. 4 of the 6 players have won on a Saturday night and 2 haven't. Mitchell and Sherrick.
100.
Thornton's not finished yet.
Absolutely not. Write him off at your peril. We've already established that I think we're both of the firm opinion that he is a double start specialist.
97.
Yeah, I'd say he's as much of a double start specialist as Phil Nixon was on double 7. That's what we used to call Nixie. when he was with us.
125. Keegan to car, 150.
That's a good switch. So is that.
118.
He's trying to confuse the referee, but it hasn't worked. Does it perturb Robert?
37.
He threw that one very quick.
Keegan to car, 32.
The rhythm broke down, and it might cost him the leg.
Yeah, not for the first time. The setup play from Keegan Brown really on point. So 3 in hand, double 16 to go within one, not just of the match, but of a perfect Group C campaign. Get back, Keegan, get back.
He's doing his best Mensa Sulovic impression.
No score.
I think
Robert
everybody
Carr,
on planet
20.
Earth thought that was in, but it wasn't. Double 5. Clinging on for dear life in Group C. Bravo, great shot.
Leg, Robert Thornton.
It is now best of 3 legs to see if someone will win the group
Second leg, Robert to throw
with a perfect
first.
campaign. Or will it be the Thorn, nearly 60 years of age, making his way to Saturday in his most comfortable format?
And again, off
60.
early doors. And there's that switch. Didn't like the lie on the double 16, but
36.
does find double 18.
It's not an easy switch. Low left to high right.
One of them.
Doesn't matter whether you're
40.
lefty or righty. It's not an easy switch, but for some people it makes sense. Dirk van Dijvenbode did it in the 2020 World Grand Prix to great effect.
Again, it
57.
comes down to what we were saying. As long as you've got your game plan and you know exactly, and you can be decisive with it, then that's half the battle.
83. $92.
This is a big opportunity for Robert now. His throw was under attack in leg number 1. But you can tell by the way he's reacting to certain shots
45.
that he is scrapping with everything he's got left. It's been a long week. This is game 25. I know it's a shorter format of best of 5, but it's still taxing.
100. $49.
This should be a max. Well, how has he split those two?
140. Robert Coward,
The fact that he's
24.
managed to get it between the posts, between the two darts.
What happens with this one?
78.
Oh, that was, again, thrown very
Keegan
quickly.
Car, 76.
Can Keegan get in front again?
The arms are flailing in the background because Keegan Brown
He's
only
on the third
needs
leg,
the one
Keegan
dart
Brown.
at double 8 to go back.
Fourth leg,
within
Keegan to
one.
throw first. Game on.
He's just been so solid, hasn't he, Keegan?
Yeah, and I've noticed something on his right hand. I don't even think he's 100% in that department because I think he might have wounded himself with one of the drop darts.
32.
I don't even think he's noticed it.
He's playing through the pain threshold.
No score.
Yeah, now he's got a magnificent opportunity, not just to win this group by 10 points, which I can't ever remember happening before, but taking Steve West through with him to Saturday night.
100.
The switch has worked for Thornton, but
56.
has it just come that little bit too late?
It feels that way. But this is where there's phase 2 in double start. If you don't get off immediately, you've got to be able to chase with
97.
a big score. He needs a max, and he needs it now.
One of them, 40.
Well, I'll have to settle for a 140, but it does just keep him in contention for the leg.
Yeah, but I'm really fascinated to see what he does with his first start when he comes back, because he needs to go bull at 18s, especially now.
180.
If he wants a chance, he can't get this wrong. Well,
135.
that is one of the
92.
best accidental 170 leaves I've ever seen, but it might still be too late.
Wow.
He's missed. Now, if Thornton takes this out, this will be heroic after an accident.
Yeah, because ultimately he
52.
should not have been
Robert
staying at
Carr,
the top of that board.
170.
No. Oh, so close to a chance.
105.
But it could be
Carr, 40.
Keegan that eliminates the Thorn. This is for a perfect Group C.
Game
Bravo,
shot the mark,
Keegan Brown. He does win the group by 10 points. And Thornton misses out, but only just. And that means that the 9-leg streak of Steve West at the end of this group has given him a Saturday invitation. Keegan wins by 3 legs to 1, and we will speak to him after the break. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, and as you can see, we've got Keegan Brown and Steve West in gold, which, well, you know what that means on a Friday afternoon. It means that they are going to Saturday, but as you can see, Robert Thornton also on 10 points, wasn't able to beat our number one player in Group C to make his way through to Saturday, so Thornton leaves us. Steve West has charged through in second position. But as you can see, we've got Keegan in the studio once again. This is becoming a bit of a regular occurrence, Keegan. Yesterday, you were speaking to Henry and Trina about a really good, perfect day yesterday. You've done it again.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm probably my biggest critic. I always say, the day before was only a good day if you can follow it up. And, I've done it. And, looking back now, I'm thinking, do you know what? I've lost 8 legs against, in my opinion, one of the hardest groups you could ever put me against. I would have been happy just to win 4 games over the 2 days, but to do 5 on the bounce on both days, I take it.
This could be something quite very special because we know you're going to be bringing quite a lot of fans come Saturday night. That's the benefit of having such a good Thursday. Tell us how many people are going to come and watch you then.
There's going to be a good few, but yeah, we're very fortunate. Obviously, the island's literally just across the water, so I know for a fact there'll be a lot of Isle of Wight in tomorrow night. So yeah, it's just really good that we're going to get the crowd in tomorrow. I'm going to hopefully play good darts and hopefully walk away with this little bad boy.
I noticed that you're looking at the trophy but not touching it.
Not touching it.
Yeah.
We don't want to do an AC Milan against Liverpool in 2005. That's a different story.
What do you think you did really well over the last couple of days then? Because a 10-point lead at the top of the table after day 2 is very rarely, if ever, seen.
Yeah, I'm like yesterday. I felt mine was timing. So every time somebody left the finish, I was just able to take it out. And today, everybody. I was listening to everyone in the back room, and they were saying, "I need to do this, and they need to do that." And I just thought, you know what, just win, because if you win, nobody can chase you. And after the second match, I just thought, just keep playing. It doesn't matter now. Just keep playing. And obviously, the more tense they got, it kind of did me a massive favour in a weird roundabout way. But yeah, like I said, to get 10 wins against this fantastic group of players, I take that every day.
It's easy to try and figure out what went right. It could have been the starts, the approach work, the scoring, or the doubling out. However, from our perspective in commentary, and for everybody watching on Pluto TV, we saw a very calm nature from you. Is that just a byproduct of winning, or is that something you've cultivated for yourself?
Probably a bit of both, to be fair. I found that the last probably 18 months, I've learned how to relax properly. Where, okay, they might have hit 140, but you got 3 darts, and you can get more than that. But yeah, I think double win, double out was a level playing field, and I just think, do you know what, I played it all right. That's what I'm going to say.
Just one more question from us. We noticed in the last game that you might have damaged your right hand a little bit.
Yeah, I did.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So the only person who can relate to that is Merv King. So me and Merv, for some reason, with how we throw the dart, we don't like too much skin on the dart because it catches. So just before I played Robert, I used a nail file and it just caught it. So it's nothing bad, nothing wrong. It just one of them things. As soon as I did it, I thought, that looks a lot worse than it was going to be.
It's one of those things as a dart player, you don't tend to learn it until later in your career. Look after your nails.
Yes, literally.
Well, one thing is for sure, look after yourself over the next 24 hours because you're coming back to Saturday night. So many congratulations on your performance. But we do have one more game left, including one of Keegan's best friends in Richie Howson, who has fallen short. So he's playing in our last game today against Richie Burnett. So over to Laura.
Yeah, thank you very much, Paul. I'll be seeing you very shortly, but great to hear from our leader in Keegan Brown, just playing down, I think, a little bit how well and how dominant he was, but obviously, as anyone would be, delighted to have managed to have secured every single win. 10 wins from 10. Really, really solid campaign from the Isle of Wight. And great to hear that we're going to have so many people joining us on finals night tomorrow. That short hop across from the Isle of Wight to Portsmouth. And I think it's kind of a little pilgrimage that a few people have made every time Keegan makes it through to finals night. So maybe that's the key to trying to carry him through to another win here at the Live Lounge.
Well, this is a very rare opportunity, Laura, because it is the last day of July.
35.
We've got apparently 22 people who come from the Isle of Wight to come and watch on Saturday night. So, for incredibly selfish reasons, I'm going to say the following sentence.
180.
Maybe that was a sign that I'm not allowed to say it, because Richie Burnett has started very well in this first leg of this contest. The Isle of Wight is very famous for a lot of things.
60.
And if you're watching from further afield, you might not know much about the Isle of Wight. It's famous for garlic and tomatoes. So whoever's coming over,
85.
bring the tomatoes. Your commentary team would be very, very grateful if there's some in-season tomatoes on their way for Saturday night.
43.
Only you would be
Richard
going down this
156.
road. Tomato.
100.
How is Richie Burnett going to be feeling in this game? Because today he started with a 3-1 win against Scott Campbell, and since then, it's like
59.
he's
Richard
been
Carr,
running
56.
the gauntlet and constantly being stopped. This is to start with a 14-darter,
Getting shot the first leg, Richie
and what
Burnett.
seemed so difficult now seems so
Second leg,
easy.
Richie Howson to throw
Well,
first.
you mentioned the
Game
good
on.
start that he had to the session. Since then, hasn't picked up a leg, and to the point that it's only had 2 darts at a double over 9 legs.
71.
And that has just been the turnaround. But then to kick off this last match, with a 14 darter, we know exactly what Richie Burnett can do. And he's using that double 13.
29.
It's not the first time that he's gone over to that side of the board.
Yeah, it feels like he should have used that a bit more over the course of the day. But he seemed to click into
60.
that gear towards the second half of play on Friday. Isn't it interesting what Keegan was saying about nails?
I was going to give him a number of my manicurist if he ever needs to pop on by.
15.
Things you never expect to hear on a darts broadcast.
But you're
We're
right.
talking about nails, but believe it or not, it is a very important topic. If the nails are too long, you get no feel because they get in the way.
45.
Mine is different because I actually utilise my nail when I throw the dart. So if my nail is too short, then it's completely the opposite effect for me.
140.
Cannot stand
You
it.
and I play very different brands of this sport.
$97.
Yeah, good switch there from Richie. He could still have qualified through this group in the last round had all the results gone his way. But unfortunately, they didn't. He needed Steve West to lose. He needed Robert Thornton to lose.
34.
He got 50% of the bargain. And in the end, his mountain was too steep to climb.
Yeah, it was a really mixed bag, wasn't it, from Richie Howson throughout the course of the day.
134.
But you have to give full credit to Steve West, to himself. After his first couple of matches, I wasn't sure that qualification was actually going to happen for him. So turn things around.
62.
That is one of the worst scores a professional dart player can get. A treble 20 and 2 single ones, it's infuriating.
Double 8.
Game show on the second
Cleanly
leg.
taken.
Richie
Levels us
Howson.
up at 1 apiece.
Third leg, Richie Burnett to throw
Does it
first.
depend on the
Game
order
on.
that you hit the numbers in to define whether it's the worst score or not? Because if you hit the treble 20 first and follow it up with 2 single ones, that is far more painful than hitting 2 single ones. And then you feel like you've rescued
score.
your throw with the treble 20.
It's a very good point.
Something I do a lot. Try and rescue throws.
40.
Just to make yourself feel a little bit better, Laura, how many times have you been in a final on a Saturday night?
In a final or just finals night?
Once, right?
Yeah, once
No
in a
score.
final.
How many finals have I been in?
I've
None.
I've had more goes on that stage than you have.
There you go. It's about levels, you see. She's got them. And she
96.
underplays them. Well, these two have both played in finals on a Saturday night. But they're not going to get another one this week.
66.
I will say this double 13 usage is It's definitely working, but I think it's throwing us on several occasions.
It is a little bit.
80.
I thought the person this week that would throw us off with double starting would be Simon Whitlock. He was quite predictable last night. We're about to see in the next 5.5
85.
hours if he will be predictably brilliant alongside Fallon Sherrick and Neil Duff, with Harrison and Lennon in pursuit.
85.
I think predictability tends to happen in this kind of format when things are going well.
Yeah, just ask Keegan.
47.
Oh, there's a bit of a slump of the shoulders from Burnett. I'm not surprised. It's been a long week for him. 25 games played at the end of this one. And ultimately, no invitation to
125.
Saturday. That's like blowing up 100 balloons and realizing you're not invited to the party.
$33. Richie Carr,
And that
75.
external monologue from Richie Burnett continues because Richie Housen should get at least one dart, and it is at tops.
35.
He made that wire move. It's like one of Uri Geller's spoons, that one. I wouldn't be surprised if Richie Housen could do magic as well. He can do everything else well.
Snooker, fishing,
22.
drawing,
Richie Carr,
Oh.
40.
darts.
All-round human being. If only his football team were as good at that.
Getting shot on the third leg, Richie Housen.
He's a West Ham fan and he's 2-1 up.
Fourth leg, Richie
He's
Housen.
going to be
throw
cheering his
first.
hammers
Game
on in the next season from the Championship, the second tier of English football. Sorry, Richie. And this is his response. Look at that.
146.
This has been a really good performance from both these. Obviously, they set everything
65.
off yesterday on Thursday afternoon in Group C. It's like a lot of players, you know, even though you know that your races run in terms of Saturday, you want to go off and finish on a bit of a high. And could be
140.
what Richie Housen's doing right now.
Yeah, that's what he's earmarked. Now, 6 darts in. He's on 2-1-5. He can still get a 10 darter from here. Not anymore.
Very good adjustment with that second dart, but
100.
the third one, just rejoining the first.
So what's the best way to take out 115 to win a match? Bull 15 bull?
100.
He's not going to do that in a month of Sundays.
Richie Carr, 115.
Wouldn't mind which way it is, as long as it works and it goes in.
Nearly got scolded there, you know.
I would have laughed if the ball was hit.
45. Richie Carr, 156.
Let's see if Richie can burn, baby, burn. Not quite.
140.
Match
Richie
point for
Carr,
Housen.
70.
In a futile attempt to make Saturday, he might end on the bull.
37. Richie Carr,
False hope.
16.
And by way of that 140, Burnett can level things up. And he
Getting shot on the
does.
fourth leg, Richie Burnett.
It's only the second game that we've had in this whole afternoon session
Fifth
that's
and
actually
final
gone the
leg, Richie Burnett
distance.
to throw first. Game on.
What say you, Mr. Speaker? That's Richie Burnett, if you're just joining us. That's one of his additional nicknames here at the Modus Super Series. Because he has an affiliation for the texture of a certain
101.
speaker on the side of the stage. That's a good marker for a 32.
51.
It's only taken him 4 games to get the knack of the 32 instead of using double 8.
Yeah, it's been some strange starts, I guess, from Richie Housen.
30.
I like the way you put that, Laura, external monologue, because every dart player's got the internal one. But imagine if we mic'd Richie up.
41.
I'm not sure that the opponents or the referee would be able to stop laughing. It's one of those impossible laughing challenges. Someone tells you a joke and you're not allowed to laugh.
59.
Definitely something to do for the exhibitions. I know they do on some of them. Perhaps not for this side of things, but it would be very interesting indeed.
It would be. Mic'd up week.
We do like a specials week here,
121.
Women's Week. Obviously here with Double Trouble international pairs.
Yeah, there's plenty to come over the next few weeks as Series 15 gets underway on Monday morning. We're starting with an ice cold beverage on Monday morning
31.
with Darren coming back to town. Thrilled that Darren's coming back here. Had a bit of a break since losing his tour card.
47.
Well, for me, this looked like a house and win. Guaranteed, but it may not be the case.
No, it might
60.
not. Both players playing with a smile on their face.
Someone's frown will be turned upside down in a second.
58.
Well, it started off as a pretty competitive encounter between the two of them. Well, it could be finishing off rather competitive for Richie Burnett, who finds another max.
80.
Well, that's his third of the game, and that was a huge celebration at the end. He could bookend his day with
43.
victories over
Richard
Campbell
Carr, 40.
and Howson to get to 6 points. It's double 15.
Game shot
And
on the
that
mark,
is how you
Richie Burnett.
finish your double trouble week with a double-double. He's not going to Saturday, but he is leaving with a smile. It's been great to see these guys here at Double Trouble 5, but unfortunately, they're both leaving us. So, bus fare home for Burnett and Howson, and some final analysis from the Blonde Bombshell in the asset after this. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series. All of our results are now in, and our final result was a Richie Burnett win over Richie Howson by 3-2. Prior to that, Robert Thornton was not able to get over the line against Keegan Brown, which means in our table, he has won by 10 points at the top of the group. Well, what does that mean? It means he's in Saturday, and he's been joined by Steve West. And he qualifies on 10 points, which is a bit of a rarity here at the Modus Super Series. But the main thing is, he's through, and he's done it over his close pal, Robert Thornton. Here in the studio, we have been joined by the man known as Simply, Steve. It wasn't simple, was it?
Far from simple. I think probably the most difficult I've made a week myself ever.
So what was difficult about it? Because it looked like you were having this internal battle with Tops earlier today.
Yeah, so starting-wise, all week, been great. Finishing-wise, couldn't get near it, and that sort of frustrated me most of the time. And then when I did change the one time to double 16, I hit it first start, which I hate. And that really annoyed me even more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just a frustrating week. And, you know, I said earlier to them guys in the room, I've got to be the unluckiest guy in this room all week, including Group A. And that's how it felt until the last 3 games.
What aspect of this group, and in particular the whole week, are you actually pleased with?
The last 3 games. That is literally it. That's where it all started to go right for me. I had, 4 days of struggling, battling, trying my best, and it's too much. Trying too hard, probably, if you like. And then when I did relax, the results came. So,
well, we were in commentary, Laura, and we were looking at the table after round 10. We're thinking, I'm not sure Steve's going to make this. It's still possible, but it would need some form of incredible charge, and it came.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, exactly the same. And I don't know what Steve thinks about it, but we were kind of talking about the fact that after the first couple of games, the finishing just wasn't there at the tail end of legs. And was there a point, Steve, that you just kind of relaxed? Because everything did turn around in the last 3.
Yeah, I don't look at tables, I don't look at legs games or whatever's left. And I just had a conversation with Richie Howson in there after I lost my second game, and he went, "Steve, you're still in it?" I was like, "What?" He went, "No, you're still in. If you win this, that and the other, then you will go through if results go my way." And I didn't even know that. So I just kind of relaxed, give it up, and just went, "You know what, just throw, enjoy yourself and see what happens." And that's, the results prove themselves.
There's a great deal of chatter amongst a certain group of players here at the Modus Super Series. I'm going to include Neil in this, Neil Duff.
Of course you are.
We are going to put Derek Coulson into this now that he's won a series. People vying to be the best player that's ever played here, but you could now do something tomorrow night that nobody's done before, which is win double trouble twice. So how motivated are you now that you're in Saturday night?
Again, I don't think about things like that. Someone said it yesterday, or I think, Henry may have said it to me during the week, and I don't really look at things like that. And until you've won the series, I don't think it really counts too much. And, me and Neil have a little bit of banter about the stuff, but Neil's gone on and won 6. Derek is the ultimate beast. So as far as I'm concerned, Derek and Scott Taylor, they rule this place.
But you've still got the beast-like qualities in you, hitting 145s just like that. I mean, that was part of the charge, and that's not
I think
necessarily...
that's probably what kicked it off, if I'm honest. Just that bit of relaxation and hit it, surprising myself, and then just carried on from there.
And is that your usual route on 145? Because...
100% no.
That's what I thought.
No, treble 15, treble 20 tops. And that's normal. But I just felt like nothing was working, so try something different, and that worked out.
Is that maybe something that's unlocked a new level to your game, for the rest of the season? Just a little bit more board flexibility and not counting on the 180s and the tops as much?
Yeah, listen, 180 is one of my big strong points. Finishing, big finishes, not so much. So I think it's just a case of trying to enjoy the game rather than put pressure on myself and force things to happen. If I relax and let them happen, then they tend to happen. So I'm going to try that from now on.
Well, Keegan had the chance to be quite relaxed after round 2 today, because after 7 rounds, he was already through and he could cruise his way through the rest of the group. maybe we were being a little bit disrespectful to his opponents in the last 3 rounds, but it looked like there was no pressure on him after that.
Yeah, and he kind of touched on it, that everyone else was pretty much, a lot of players were talking about what they need to do and how they can still make it through to the last stages. Whereas, as you say, 7 games in and he's 7 out of 7 and totally comfortable at the top of the table, already securing a spot, and he could just kick back and relax. And it's the ideal campaign, isn't it? It's the ideal position to be in. And then to carry on and have that motivation to get 10 out of 10 wins, whereas everyone else in the group was kind of beating each other, and it was just a scrap for that second place.
The sentimental factor of Robert trying to get this for the second time, I know that's going to sit quite strangely with you, Steve, because the person that's missed out because of your very good charge in the last 3 rounds is Robert Thornton, so that won't sit great with you, will it?
Yeah, no, I don't like it. I don't like doing it. He's my mate. He's one of my best mates, as you know, and to see him fall at the last hurdle, not because of me, but effectively because of what I'd done 3 games previous, it does hurt. But it's a bittersweet thing, isn't it? One of us has got to go, and one of us has got to go through. So I'm quite happy it's me.
Well, Steve is through, so is Keegan. As far as you're concerned, Laura, from what you've seen today, is Steve's charge the most impressive thing about this group, because he was the one that was under pressure?
Yeah, I think even more so because of the turnaround from the first couple of days. I mean, I think Steve, we could see you visibly very frustrated, especially when it came to the finishing elements, because we commented the start wasn't too bad. The scoring phase, that was pretty on point, but again, it was just the finishing that was just becoming troublesome. So I think for me, it was... Sorry, Steve, I keep mentioning it.
No,
but
it's true, though. Listen, look, from getting in today, yesterday as well, I mean, I've lost games to Keegan twice that I should have probably won 3-0. I've lost games to Robert that I should have probably won 4-0, which you can only win 3, but I missed every single leg. I missed 2 or 3 darts at it. Sometimes you just got to hold your hands up and go, you know what, it's not my day. It is what it is. And yeah, it annoys you, yeah, it frustrates you, but things work out for the best sometimes, don't they?
Well, we've only got 3 people through of a possible 6. Tonight we're going to have Group B. So Fallon Sherrick, Simon Whitlock and Neil Duff all on 6 points. Do you expect them to go through quickly?
Just looking at how the table is situated, I think that for me, there's just a bit too much of a gap to close for the likes of Steve and Andreas, unfortunately for them. It's not mathematically impossible, but I don't see, based on what we watched last night, a real big drop-off from either of those top 3. I think it may just stay... They may move around a bit, but ultimately I think they're the 3 that go through.
Well, it's been a great afternoon to see Steve's charge. Steve, congratulations. I know how much it would mean to you to win this again. But we have got more darts coming up between now and this evening. We've got the Royal Rumble, where you've got the likes of Andreas Harrison, who is playing tonight, up against the likes of Jackpot Adrian Lewis. And I've never seen Steve beaten with a physique like Randy Orton before, but that's really interesting. Well, Fallon Sherrick is in tonight's action from 10 p.m. and we will be joined by Laura Turner once again. Tomorrow night, 7:30, our usual Saturday night slot. That is one for your calendars, so don't miss that. Live on Pluto TV, so download the app if you can, if you're going to be on the move. Joe Croft will be back on Monday morning because Series 15 is just around the corner. Oh, thank you for your company over the last couple of afternoons. Group C is done. Group B is just around the corner, so don't miss it. It'll be here from 10 p.m.
The new Modus Super Series champion. Oh my word!
It's another incredible moment tonight.
Jeff Smith!
It's matched out. 5-star performance.
Ball for big fish. It's